In the quiet depths of the Pokémon world, where shadows lengthen across familiar paths and moonlight filters through ancient trees, there exist stories that whisper of mysteries beyond the cheerful adventures we know so well. These are tales that emerge from the darker corners of regions both known and forgotten, where the line between reality and legend blurs like morning mist over a tranquil lake. Long before trainers first set foot on Route 1 with their starter Pokemon clutched close to their hearts, the world was already ancient, already filled with secrets that even Professor Oak's extensive research could never fully illuminate. In the deepest archives of the Pokemon research facilities, tucked away behind locked doors that few have keys to, rest documents that speak of phenomena that challenge our understanding of what Pokemon truly are and what they might become when left to their own devices in places where human footsteps rarely fall. Consider, if you will, the abandoned Pokémon Tower in Lavender Town, where the purple brick structure reaches toward gray skies like a finger pointing to mysteries we cannot comprehend. The tower's construction predates most recorded history of the Kanto region, built with techniques and materials that modern architects struggle to identify. Local records speak of its original purpose as a place of rest for departed Pokemon, but deeper investigation reveals layers of history that stretch back through generations of caretakers who maintained traditions they themselves did not fully understand. The Pokemon Tower's foundation stones, worn smooth by countless years of weather and time, were quarried from caves deep beneath Cerulean City, caves that connect to underground waterways where rare Pokemon are said to gather during certain phases of the moon. These stones, when examined under specific lighting conditions, reveal fossilized impressions of Pokemon species that appear in no official Pokédex, creatures with anatomical features that suggest evolutionary paths that diverged from known patterns millions of years ago. Within the tower's walls, researchers have documented temperature fluctuations that follow no known meteorological patterns, dropping by precisely 13 degrees at regular intervals that correspond to no earthly cycle. The building's acoustics amplify certain frequencies while completely absorbing others, creating pockets of absolute silence that exist side by side with areas where even the softest whisper seems to echo endlessly through chambers that should not be large enough to produce such effects. The Silph scope, that remarkable device that allows trainers to perceive ghost-type Pokemon, operates on principles that its creators have never fully explained to the public. The technology appears to function by shifting the user's perception across dimensional frequencies, revealing layers of reality that exist parallel to our own. When the device was first tested in controlled laboratory conditions, researchers reported seeing not just ghost-type Pokemon, but entire ecosystems of spectral creatures that seem to exist in the spaces between moments, in the pause between one heartbeat and the next. These parallel ecosystems follow their own complex food chains and behavioral patterns, completely independent of the physical world, yet somehow intimately connected to it. Gastly, Haunter, and Gengar represent only the most visible members of this shadow ecosystem, the ones whose presence bleeds through the dimensional barriers, strongly enough to be perceived even without technological assistance. Deeper observations have revealed ghost-type Pokemon species that exist in states of perpetual transition, never fully materializing in any single dimension, their forms shifting like smoke in a gentle breeze. The town of Lavender itself carries an atmosphere that seems to slow time, where afternoon shadows stretch longer than they should, according to the sun's position, and where visitors often report losing track of hours without any clear memory of how the time was spent. The local Pokemon Center, with its familiar red roof and welcoming lights, operates under protocols that differ subtly from those in other towns, with Nurse Joy following procedures that include additional steps whose purposes are never explained to visiting trainers. In the deeper floors of the Pokemon Tower, accessible only through passages that seem to shift their locations depending on the time of day, lie chambers where the boundary between the world of the living and whatever lies beyond becomes gossamer thin. Here, Cubone have been observed engaging in behaviors that suggest they possess knowledge of events that occurred before their birth, responding to stimuli that exist only in the memories of their departed mothers. Their bone clubs, worn smooth by use, sometimes exhibit markings that appear to be a form of written language, though no human scholar has successfully deciphered their meaning. The Marowak that haunt these deeper chambers move with a purpose that transcends the simple territorial behavior exhibited by their living counterparts. They seem to be guardians of something precious and fragile. Something that requires their eternal vigilance to protect. Trainers who have encountered these spectral guardians report feeling an overwhelming sense of ancient responsibility, as though they had briefly glimpsed the weight of duties that stretch across geological ages. Radio waves passing through Lavender Town undergo distortions that electronics experts cannot explain, sometimes picking up broadcasts that seem to originate from no known transmission source. These phantom signals carry music that sounds almost familiar, yet follows harmonic progressions that human composers have never used, melodies that seem to induce a state of deep contemplation in both humans and Pokemon who hear them. The frequencies appear to resonate with something fundamental in the nervous systems of ghost-type Pokemon, causing them to become more active and more visible during these mysterious broadcasts. The cemetery behind the Pokemon Tower contains graves that date back centuries, marked with symbols that predate the modern Pokemon League by generations. Some headstones bear the names of Pokemon species that exist in no current classification system, suggesting that the diversity of Pokemon life was once far greater than what we observe today. Archaeological excavations, conducted with the utmost respect for the site's sacred nature, have uncovered burial chambers containing Pokeballs crafted from materials that modern technology cannot replicate, their surfaces inscribed with patterns that seem to shift and change when viewed from different angles. These ancient Pokeballs, when subjected to careful analysis, appear to operate on principles that differ fundamentally from modern capture technology. Rather than simply containing a Pokemon, they seem designed to preserve something more essential, something that transcends the physical form. Researchers theorize that these devices were created to maintain the connection between Pokemon and their trainers, even beyond the natural end of life, ensuring that bonds forged in life could continue in whatever realm awaits beyond the veil of mortality. The ghost-type Pokémon that inhabit the tower and its surrounding grounds exhibit behavioral patterns that suggest a complex social structure spanning both the living and the departed. Gastly appear to serve as messengers, carrying information between different groups of ghost types in a network that extends far beyond the boundaries of Lavender Town. Their gaseous forms allow them to travel through spaces that solid matter cannot penetrate, accessing areas of the tower that remain sealed to human exploration. Haunter, with their ability to phase in and out of physical reality at will, seem to function as guardians of the boundary between dimensions, ensuring that the delicate balance between the world of the living and the realm of spirits remains undisturbed. Their mischievous nature, often interpreted as playful pranks, may actually represent a sophisticated system of testing and evaluation, determining which living beings possess the spiritual sensitivity necessary to perceive the deeper mysteries of the tower. The evolution from Haunter to Gengar requires more than simple experience or exposure to evolutionary stones. Trainers who have witnessed this transformation report that it occurs only when specific conditions are met, conditions that seem to involve the Haunter's acceptance of responsibility for maintaining the ancient compact between the living and the dead. Gengar, who have undergone this evolution in the presence of the tower's mysteries, exhibit abilities that exceed those of their counterparts evolved elsewhere, suggesting that the location itself contributes something essential to the process. The ancient compact spoken of in the tower's deepest chambers refers to an agreement forged in the earliest days of human and Pokémon coexistence, when the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds were far more fluid than they appear today. Stone tablets discovered in the tower's foundation, their surfaces worn smooth by countless centuries, bear inscriptions in a script that predates known written language. These markings, when translated through painstaking cross-reference with similar symbols found in ruins across multiple regions, tell of a time when ghost-type Pokémon served as mediators between realms, helping to establish the natural order that governs life, death, and the spaces that exist between them. The Compact established protocols for the peaceful transitions of spirits from one state of being to another, ensuring that neither the living nor the departed would intrude inappropriately upon each other's domains. Deep beneath the tower's visible structure lies a network of chambers carved from bedrock that predates human settlement in the region by millennia. These subterranean spaces, accessible only through passages that seem to shift and rearrange themselves according to principles unknown to conventional architecture, house repositories of knowledge that challenge our understanding of Pokémon biology and behavior. Within these chambers, crystalline formations emit a soft, pulsing light that resonates with frequencies barely perceptible to human senses. Ghost-type Pokémon gather around these crystals in patterns that suggest ritualistic behavior, their forms becoming more translucent and ethereal the longer they remain in proximity to the formations. Researchers who have been granted access to these deeper levels report experiencing profound alterations in their perception of time and space, with minutes feeling like hours and familiar distances seeming to stretch impossibly far. The crystals themselves appear to be organic in nature, growing slowly over geological timescales and incorporating trace elements from the spiritual essence of Pokémon who have passed through the tower over the centuries. Each crystal formation is unique, its internal structure reflecting the accumulated experiences and memories of countless ghost-type Pokémon. When exposed to specific wavelengths of light, the crystals project images that seem to depict historical events from perspectives impossible for human observers to have witnessed. These projections show ancient battles fought not with physical attacks, but with manifestations of pure spiritual energy, conflicts that shaped the fundamental laws governing how Pokemon types interact with each other and with the natural world. Among the most intriguing discoveries within the tower's depths are chambers containing what appear to be evolutionary artifacts, objects that seem to facilitate transformations beyond the standard patterns observed in contemporary Pokemon research. These artifacts, carved from materials that analysis suggests may not originate from our dimension, emit energy signatures that resonate with the life force of specific Pokemon types. When Ghost-type Pokemon interact with these artifacts, they undergo temporary changes that reveal hidden aspects of their true nature, displaying abilities and characteristics that remain dormant under normal circumstances. The artifacts seem to respond to the emotional and spiritual development of the Pokemon that approach them, suggesting that evolution, in its deepest sense, involves more than genetic modification or energy absorption. The tower's influence extends far beyond its immediate vicinity, creating a network of spiritual nodes that connect to similar sites across the Pokémon world. Sensitive individuals report experiencing dreams and visions when sleeping in locations that align with these nodes, dreams that provide glimpses of other regions where the boundary between dimensions grows thin. These visions often feature Pokémon species that exist nowhere in current taxonomic records, creatures whose forms seem to shift between physical and spiritual manifestations. The consistency of these reports across different individuals and time periods suggests that the visions represent genuine contact with alternate states of reality rather than mere hallucinations or wishful thinking. Trainers who develop deep connections with ghost-type Pokémon often find themselves gradually becoming more sensitive to the subtle energies that permeate the tower and its surrounding area. This sensitivity manifests in various ways, from the ability to perceive the emotional states of ghost-type Pokémon with unusual clarity, to experiencing brief glimpses of the spiritual realm that exists parallel to our physical world. Some trainers report that their ghost-type partners begin to exhibit behaviors and abilities that seem to transcend their species' documented capabilities, suggesting that the bond between trainer and Pokémon can facilitate access to evolutionary potentials that remain locked under ordinary circumstances. The nocturnal activities within Pokémon Tower follow patterns that align with astronomical phenomena occurring on cycles that span decades or even centuries. During certain celestial alignments, the tower's ghost-type inhabitants gather in formations that mirror the positions of specific constellations, their collective energy creating resonance effects that can be detected by sensitive instruments from considerable distances. These gatherings appear to serve multiple purposes, from facilitating communication with ghost-type Pokémon in distant regions to maintaining the stability of the dimensional barriers that separate our world from realms where different physical laws apply. The precision with which these gatherings occur suggests an understanding of cosmic forces, unique auditory environments within different sections of the building. The frequencies that resonate most strongly within the tower correspond to wavelengths that ghost-type Pokemon use for communication, suggesting that the structure was designed or evolved specifically to facilitate their interactions. These acoustic effects may explain why visitors to the tower often report hearing voices or sounds that have no apparent source, as the building itself may be amplifying communications occurring on frequencies beyond normal human perception. The preservation of the tower and its mysteries requires constant vigilance from both human caretakers and the ghost-type Pokemon that call it home. The delicate balance that maintains the site's unique properties could be easily disrupted by inappropriate interference or well-meaning but misguided attempts at modernization. The ghost-type Pokemon seem to understand this responsibility instinctively, working together to maintain the conditions necessary for their continued existence while protecting the secrets that have been entrusted to their care across countless generations. As research into Pokemon Tower continues, each new discovery raises more questions than it answers, revealing layers of complexity that suggest our understanding of Pokemon biology, evolution, and consciousness remains in its earliest stages. The tower stands as a testament to the profound mysteries that still await exploration in the world of Pokemon, a reminder that behind the familiar mechanics of battles and training lies a vast realm of spiritual and dimensional phenomena that challenges our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality itself. The phenomena surrounding Pokemon Tower extend far beyond its physical boundaries, creating ripple effects throughout the Kanto region that researchers are only beginning to understand. The electromagnetic fields generated by the concentrated ghost-type energy have been detected as far away as Cerulean City, where sensitive monitoring equipment occasionally registers anomalous readings during the tower's most active periods. These distant effects manifest in subtle ways that often go unnoticed by casual observers, such as the tendency for electronic devices to experience brief malfunctions or for certain psychic-type Pokemon to become unusually restless without apparent cause. The interconnected nature of these phenomena suggests that Pokemon Tower functions as a central node in a vast network of spiritual energy that spans the entire region, with other locations serving as smaller focal points that help distribute and regulate the flow of otherworldly forces. Within the depths of Rock Tunnel, explorers have documented instances where the usual behavior patterns of resident Pokemon shift dramatically during periods of heightened activity at Pokemon Tower. The Geodude and Graveler that inhabit the tunnel's rocky passages become unusually docile, often gathering in circular formations that mirror the arrangements observed among the tower's ghost-type inhabitants. These synchronous behaviors occur without any apparent communication between the two locations, suggesting that the spiritual energies emanating from the tower operate on frequencies that transcend the normal boundaries between different Pokemon types. The precision of these coordinated responses indicates a level of sensitivity to supernatural phenomena that extends far beyond what conventional science would predict, revealing hidden connections between seemingly unrelated aspects of the Pokemon world. The influence of Pokemon Tower reaches into the waters surrounding the region as well, where marine Pokemon exhibit behavioral changes that coincide with the tower's periods of peak activity. Tentacool populations in the waters near Cinnabar Island display unusual migration patterns during certain lunar phases, moving in spiraling formations that echo the energy flows detected within the tower itself. These aquatic Pokemon seem to respond to the same cosmic rhythms that guide the ghost-type inhabitants of the tower, suggesting that the spiritual forces at work transcend the traditional boundaries between land and sea. The implications of these far-reaching connections challenge our understanding of how Pokemon perceive and interact with forces that remain largely invisible to human observation. Deep within the abandoned sections of Pokemon Tower, researchers have discovered chambers that contain crystalline formations unlike anything found elsewhere in the natural world. These structures appear to have grown over centuries, fed by the concentrated spiritual energy that permeates the building. The crystals emit a faint luminescence that varies in intensity according to patterns that correspond to the emotional states of nearby ghost-type Pokemon, creating a visual representation of the invisible bonds that connect these mysterious beings to their environment. The formations serve as natural archives, storing impressions of significant events that have occurred within the tower across multiple generations. Sensitive individuals who come into contact with these crystals report experiencing brief glimpses of memories that belong to Pokemon who passed through the tower decades or even centuries ago. The temporal anomalies within Pokemon Tower extend beyond simple distortions in the perception of time, creating pockets where the normal flow of causality becomes fluid and unpredictable. In these areas, effects sometimes precede their causes, and visitors may encounter echoes of conversations that have not yet occurred. These phenomena seem to be concentrated around locations where particularly powerful ghost-type Pokemon have established their territories, suggesting that their presence somehow weakens the barriers between past, present, and future. The ghost-type inhabitants appear to navigate these temporal irregularities with ease, moving through time as naturally as they phase through physical matter. Their ability to exist simultaneously across multiple temporal states may explain their profound understanding of events that have shaped the tower's history and their apparent prescience regarding future developments. The relationship between Pokemon Tower and the surrounding ecosystem extends to the plant life that grows in its vicinity, where botanical specimens display characteristics that defy conventional understanding of plant biology. Trees near the tower often bear leaves that shimmer with an otherworldly radiance, particularly during the hours when ghost-type activity reaches its peak. These plants seem to have adapted to absorb and process spiritual energy in ways that supplement their normal photosynthetic processes, creating hybrid life forms that bridge the gap between the physical and supernatural realms. The seeds from these adapted plants carry traces of the tower's unique energy signature, allowing them to establish colonies of spiritually enhanced vegetation in distant locations where they serve as anchor points for the expanding network of otherworldly influence. The architectural mysteries of Pokémon Tower continue to reveal themselves through careful examination of its construction techniques and materials. The stones used in its foundation contain mineral compositions that do not match any known geological formations in the region, suggesting that they were either transported from distant locations or formed through processes that involved supernatural forces. The mortar that binds these stones together includes organic compounds that appear to be derived from ghost-type Pokémon, creating a building material that remains structurally sound while maintaining a constant connection to the spiritual realm. This living architecture responds to the emotional states and intentions of those who enter the tower, subtly altering its internal configuration to either welcome or discourage visitors based on their compatibility with its otherworldly purpose. The influence of Pokémon Tower on human consciousness extends beyond the immediate effects experienced by visitors, creating lasting changes in perception and sensitivity to supernatural phenomena. Individuals who spend extended periods within the tower often develop enhanced abilities to communicate with ghost-type Pokémon, as well as increased awareness of spiritual presences that remain invisible to others. These enhanced capabilities appear to be permanent, suggesting that exposure to the tower's unique energy field creates fundamental alterations in human neural pathways. The ghost-type Pokémon seem to recognize and respond to these enhanced individuals, often seeking them out to serve as intermediaries in their interactions with the physical world. The seasonal variations in Pokémon Tower's activity levels follow patterns that align with ancient calendar systems that predate recorded history in the region. During the autumn months, when the boundary between the world of the living and the realm of spirits traditionally grows thin, the tower's ghost-type inhabitants become more active and visible to human observers. These periods of heightened activity coincide with increased reports of supernatural phenomena throughout the region, suggesting that the tower serves as a regulatory mechanism that controls the flow of spiritual energy according to cosmic cycles that operate on timescales far beyond human comprehension. The precision with which these cycles repeat year after year indicates that the forces at work operate according to natural laws that science has yet to discover or understand. The preservation efforts surrounding Pokémon Tower require a delicate balance between protecting its mysteries and allowing for the careful research necessary to expand our understanding of its phenomena. The ghost-type Pokémon that inhabit the structure have demonstrated a remarkable ability to distinguish between visitors who approach with genuine respect for their domain and those who might pose a threat to the tower's spiritual integrity. This selective permeability ensures that only individuals with appropriate intentions gain access to the tower's deeper mysteries, while protecting the site from exploitation or damage that could disrupt the complex spiritual ecosystem that has developed within its walls over countless generations. The ongoing documentation of Pokémon Tower's phenomena requires observers to adopt methodologies that differ significantly from conventional scientific approaches, as traditional instruments often fail to register the subtle energies that permeate the structure. Researchers have discovered that the most reliable measurements come from individuals who have developed natural sensitivity to ghost type Pokemon through prolonged exposure to the tower's environment. These human sensors can detect fluctuations in spiritual energy that remain completely undetectable to mechanical devices, suggesting that consciousness itself plays a fundamental role in perceiving and interacting with the forces that animate the tower's ghostly inhabitants. The relationship between observer and observed becomes particularly complex within the tower's walls, where the act of observation appears to influence the behavior and manifestation patterns of the ghost type Pokemon, creating a feedback loop that challenges our understanding of objective reality. The acoustic properties of Pokemon Tower reveal another layer of its mysterious nature, as sounds within the structure behave according to principles that seem to defy conventional physics. Whispers spoken in one chamber can sometimes be heard clearly in distant rooms, while loud noises may fail to carry beyond the immediate vicinity of their origin. The ghost-type Pokemon appear to manipulate these acoustic anomalies deliberately, using them to create complex communication networks that span the entire vertical extent of the tower. The sound patterns follow rhythms that correspond to the emotional states and memory fragments carried by the ghostly inhabitants, creating an ever-changing symphony of spectral voices that tells the story of countless lives that have touched the tower throughout its existence. The botanical specimens found growing within and around Pokemon Tower display characteristics that suggest prolonged exposure to ghost-type energy has fundamentally altered their cellular structure and growth patterns. These plants exhibit unusual properties, including the ability to photosynthesize using moonlight with greater efficiency than they process sunlight, and roots that extend far deeper into the earth than should be possible given the rocky soil composition of the area. Some specimens appear to be sustained entirely by spiritual energy rather than traditional nutrients, thriving in areas where conventional plant life cannot survive. The pollens and spores released by these supernatural flora carry traces of ghost-type essence that can induce mild psychic sensitivity in humans who breathe them, contributing to the tower's ability to gradually attune visitors to its otherworldly frequencies. The magnetic field anomalies surrounding Pokemon Tower create navigation challenges that extend far beyond simple compass deflection, as the very concept of direction becomes fluid and subjective within the tower's sphere of influence. Visitors often report that familiar pathways seem to rearrange themselves between visits, leading to rooms that were previously inaccessible or revealing chambers that appear to exist in spaces that should be structurally impossible. Those spatial distortions appear to be controlled by the collective will of the ghost-type Pokemon, who can manipulate the tower's internal geography to guide visitors toward encounters and experiences that align with the spectral inhabitants' mysterious purposes and intentions. The preservation of memories within Pokemon Tower operates according to principles that suggest consciousness and experience can become embedded in physical matter under the right conditions. The stone walls themselves seem to retain impressions of significant emotional events, releasing these stored memories as subtle psychic emanations that sensitive individuals can perceive as vivid flashbacks or dreamlike visions. These memory fragments create a living archive of the tower's history, allowing visitors to experience echoes of past events through direct psychic contact with the building's substance. The ghost type Pokemon serve as curators of this memory collection, determining which experiences are preserved and how they are revealed to future visitors who demonstrate appropriate reverence for the tower's sacred purpose. The interaction between Pokemon Tower and the surrounding ecosystem creates a network of supernatural influence that extends far beyond the structure's physical boundaries, affecting the behavior and evolution of Pokemon species throughout the region. Wild Pokemon in the area display enhanced psychic sensitivity and increased longevity compared to their counterparts in other regions, suggesting that exposure to the tower's energy field provides benefits that extend across species lines. Some researchers theorize that the tower serves as a focal point for evolutionary forces that operate on timescales and through mechanisms that conventional biology has yet to recognize, accelerating the development of psychic abilities and spiritual awareness in all forms of life that come within its sphere of influence. The documentation of individual ghost-type Pokemon within the tower reveals that each spectral inhabitant maintains a distinct identity and personal history that spans far beyond their original mortal existence. These entities continue to grow and evolve in ways that suggest death represents not an ending, but a transformation into a different mode of being that allows for continued development and interaction with the physical world. The relationships between different ghost-type Pokemon within the tower form complex social structures that mirror and sometimes surpass the sophistication of living communities. With hierarchies based on spiritual wisdom, emotional depth, and the ability to bridge the gap between the worlds of the living and the dead. The seasonal cycles that govern Pokemon Tower's activity levels appear to be synchronized with celestial events and astronomical phenomena that operate on scales both cosmic and intimate, connecting the tower's local spiritual ecosystem to universal forces that influence consciousness and reality across vast distances. During certain alignments of celestial bodies, the tower's ghost-type inhabitants become capable of manifesting with unprecedented clarity and physical presence, allowing for interactions with human visitors that approach the intensity and authenticity of encounters with living beings. These periods of enhanced manifestation provide opportunities for communication and understanding that reveal the profound intelligence and emotional complexity of the tower's ghostly residents. The architectural evolution of Pokemon Tower continues to this day as the structure slowly adapts and grows in response to the changing needs and desires of its spectral inhabitants. New chambers occasionally appear overnight, constructed from the same mysterious materials that comprise the original structure, while existing rooms may undergo subtle modifications that enhance their suitability for specific spiritual functions. This ongoing construction process appears to be guided by a collective architectural consciousness that emerges from the combined will of all the ghost-type Pokemon who call the tower home, creating a living building that grows and changes according to principles that transcend human understanding of construction and design. The influence of Pokemon Tower on human dreams and sleep patterns creates a phenomenon that extends its reach far beyond the individuals who physically visit the structure, as the tower's psychic emanations can affect the unconscious minds of sensitive individuals across considerable distances. People living within a certain radius of the tower often report dreams filled with ghostly encounters and spiritual guidance, suggesting that the ghost type Pokemon use the dream state as a medium for extending their influence and sharing their wisdom with a broader human population. These dream communications often contain practical guidance and emotional healing that helps recipients navigate challenges in their waking lives, indicating that the tower's inhabitants maintain an active interest in promoting the well-being of the living world that surrounds their spiritual domain. The therapeutic properties of these dream communications have drawn the attention of researchers studying the intersection between Pokemon consciousness and human psychological healing, revealing that the ghost-type inhabitants of the tower possess an intuitive understanding of human emotional needs that surpasses many conventional therapeutic approaches. The messages conveyed through these nocturnal encounters often address specific traumas, unresolved grief, and psychological wounds with a gentleness and precision that suggests the ghost-type Pokemon can perceive and respond to the deepest layers of human suffering. This healing process unfolds gradually over multiple dream sessions, with each encounter building upon previous communications to create a comprehensive therapeutic journey that guides individuals toward emotional resolution and spiritual growth. The tower's influence on regional weather patterns creates microclimate conditions that further enhance its mystical properties, generating atmospheric phenomena that seem to exist at the boundary between natural meteorology and supernatural manifestation. Mists and fog formations around the tower often display unusual characteristics, moving against prevailing winds and forming patterns that appear to respond to the emotional states of nearby observers. These atmospheric effects create a buffer zone around the tower where the normal rules of physics become more flexible, allowing for easier transitions between the physical and spiritual realms that facilitate the ongoing interactions between living visitors and the tower's ghostly residents. The ecological relationships between ghost-type Pokemon and other species in the surrounding area reveal complex interdependencies that challenge traditional understanding of predator-prey dynamics and symbiotic relationships. Certain grass-type Pokemon that grow near the tower display enhanced longevity and unusual flowering patterns that seem to be influenced by the spiritual energy emanating from the structure, while nocturnal Pokemon species often gather in the vicinity during the hours when ghost-type activity reaches its peak. These gatherings suggest that the tower serves as a focal point for supernatural phenomena that extends beyond the ghost-type classification, creating a nexus where various forms of mystical energy converge and interact in ways that benefit multiple species. The seasonal migrations of certain Pokemon appear to be timed to coincide with specific phases of the tower's spiritual cycles, indicating that the structure's influence on the natural world operates according to rhythms that span months and years, rather than simple day-night cycles. Archaeological investigations beneath Pokemon Tower have revealed foundation structures that predate the current building by centuries, suggesting that the site has served as a focal point for spiritual activity across multiple historical periods and possibly different civilizations. These ancient foundations incorporate architectural elements and construction techniques that differ significantly from the tower's current design, yet they harmonize perfectly with the overall spiritual function of the site. The discovery of burial chambers and ceremonial spaces beneath the modern tower indicates that the location's significance as a bridge between worlds has been recognized and honored by human cultures throughout recorded history. The continuity of purpose across these different historical layers suggests that the site possesses inherent properties that make it naturally suitable for facilitating communication between the living and the dead, properties that have remained constant even as human understanding and architectural approaches have evolved. The linguistic studies conducted on the vocalizations and communications of the tower's ghost type inhabitants have revealed sophisticated patterns of expression that appear to incorporate elements from multiple human languages, as well as sounds and frequencies that exist beyond the normal range of human perception. These communications demonstrate that the ghost type Pokémon have developed their own complex language system that allows for nuanced expression of concepts and emotions that may not have direct equivalents in human speech. The ability of these Pokémon to communicate across species barriers suggests that their spiritual evolution has freed them from many of the limitations that typically constrain interspecies understanding, allowing for forms of communication that operate on levels that transcend conventional linguistic structures. Researchers have noted that prolonged exposure to these ghost type communications can enhance human intuitive abilities and sensitivity to nonverbal forms of expression, indicating that the tower's inhabitants actively work to expand the communicative capabilities of their living visitors. The tower's relationship with temporal phenomena creates unique conditions where past, present, and future events can become momentarily visible or accessible to sensitive observers, particularly during periods of high spiritual activity when the boundaries between different time periods become permeable. Visitors have reported glimpsing scenes from the tower's history, witnessing events that occurred decades or centuries ago with startling clarity and detail. These temporal glimpses appear to be selective rather than random, typically showing moments of significant emotional intensity or spiritual importance that have left lasting impressions on the tower's psychic atmosphere. The ghost-type Pokémon seem to serve as guardians and curators of these temporal fragments, preserving important memories and experiences that contribute to the tower's role as a repository of collective spiritual knowledge. The ability to access these temporal layers provides opportunities for learning and understanding that extend far beyond conventional historical research, offering direct experiential contact with the wisdom and experiences of previous generations. The tower's influence on electronic equipment and technological devices creates a unique electromagnetic signature that appears to be generated by the collective psychic energy of its ghost-type inhabitants rather than conventional electrical phenomena. This electromagnetic field can interfere with standard recording equipment in ways that often enhance rather than degrade the quality of spiritual communications suggesting that the ghost-type Pokémon have learned to manipulate technological systems to facilitate better documentation and understanding of their activities. The patterns of interference often contain meaningful information, with fluctuations in electromagnetic readings corresponding to specific emotional states or communication attempts by the tower's spiritual residents. This technological interaction indicates that the ghost-type Pokémon possess an sophisticated understanding of human technology and actively work to bridge the gap between spiritual phenomena and scientific measurement, creating opportunities for more objective study and verification of their activities. The nutritional and sustenance patterns of the tower's ghost-type inhabitants reveal that their continued existence depends not on conventional food sources, but on the absorption and processing of various forms of emotional and spiritual energy that permeate their environment. The intensity of human emotions, particularly those related to grief, love, remembrance, and spiritual seeking, appears to provide essential nourishment that sustains the ghost-type Pokémon and enables their continued growth and development. This symbiotic relationship creates a self-reinforcing cycle where the presence of emotionally engaged visitors enhances the vitality of the tower's inhabitants, while the increased spiritual activity of well-nourished ghost-type Pokémon creates more meaningful and transformative experiences for human visitors. The tower thus functions as an ecosystem where emotional and spiritual energy circulates continuously between the living and the dead, creating conditions that support the flourishing of both human and Pokémon consciousness, in forms that transcend the normal boundaries between different states of existence. The linguistic and semiotic structures of the communications observed within the tower often defy conventional human understanding, presenting themselves as intricate tapestries of sensory input rather than linear spoken or written language. These communications frequently involve interwoven layers of imagery, sound, tactile sensations, and even olfactory cues, all coalescing to convey complex narratives or emotional states. For instance, a communication concerning a past tragedy might manifest as a sudden drop in ambient temperature coupled with the scent of long faded incense, followed by a fleeting visual of a specific object or a reverberating chord of music that evokes a particular era. This multisensory approach suggests an attempt by the ghost-type Pokémon to bypass the limitations of verbal language, directly imprinting their messages onto the receptive consciousness of human visitors. The interpretation of these communications requires a profound sensitivity to nuance and a willingness to engage with information presented in non-traditional formats. Researchers have developed protocols that involve prolonged meditative states and a deep attunement to subtle shifts in perception, allowing for a more accurate decoding of these intricate messages. The ghost-type Pokémon appear to adapt their communication styles to the individual sensitivities of particular humans, often presenting information in ways that resonate most strongly with that person's personal history, emotional landscape, or cultural background. This personalized approach facilitates deeper understanding and creates a more profound connection between the human recipient and the communicating spirit, suggesting an advanced form of empathetic intelligence at play within the tower's ethereal inhabitants. The architectural design of the tower itself appears to be a deliberate and intricate component of its spiritual functionality, with specific structural elements and spatial arrangements contributing to its energetic properties. The circular layout of many chambers, the precise alignment of windows and doorways with celestial phenomena, and the use of particular materials such as polished obsidian and ancient petrified wood all seem to amplify and channel the psychic energies that circulate within the edifice. These architectural features are not merely aesthetic, they function as a complex system of conduits and resonators designed to facilitate the accumulation, storage, and transmission of spiritual energy. The height of the tower also plays a crucial role, drawing in subtle currents of cosmic energy from above while anchoring itself deeply into the telluric energies of the earth below, creating a powerful vortex of spiritual force. The varying elevations within the tower are often associated with different energetic frequencies or levels of spiritual awareness, with the lower levels tending to house more earthbound or recently departed spirits, while the upper echelons are home to more ancient, powerful, and cosmically attuned entities. This deliberate spatial organization supports the diverse range of spiritual experiences and interactions available within the tower, from poignant encounters with ancestral spirits to profound revelations concerning the nature of existence itself. The historical records surrounding the construction of the tower are often fragmented and imbued with myth, yet they consistently point to a collaboration between early human civilizations and powerful psychic type Pokémon, who together possessed an advanced understanding of both architecture and esoteric energy manipulation. These ancient records describe rituals performed during the tower's construction that involved the precise placement of energy attuned crystals and the chanting of specific sonic frequencies, all designed to imbue the structure with its enduring spiritual properties. The involvement of psychic type Pokemon in its genesis suggests that the tower was not merely built, but was in a sense grown, its form and function shaped by a collective psychic will that extended beyond purely human capacities. The legends speak of the tower rising from the earth as if guided by an unseen hand, its stones interlocking with a precision that transcended the available technology of the era. This mythical origin story underscores the tower's extraordinary nature, positioning it not as a mere building, but as a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving and responding to the spiritual currents that flow through it. The tower's materials themselves are often described as having unusual properties, such as being impervious to decay or possessing an inherent luminescence in certain conditions, further pointing to their non-conventional origins and the mystical processes involved in their integration into the structure. The influence of lunar and solar cycles on the tower's spiritual activity is a consistently observed phenomenon, with various phases of the moon and specific solstices or equinoxes correlating with heightened energetic manifestations. During a full moon, for instance, the ambient psychic energy within the tower often reaches its peak, leading to more frequent and vivid spiritual communications, increased temporal shifts, and a general amplification of all paranormal phenomena. Conversely, the new moon often brings a period of quiet introspection, a time when the subtler energies are more easily perceived, and deeper, more personal spiritual journeys can be undertaken. Solar events, such as eclipses or solstices, are also associated with significant shifts in the tower's energetic field, sometimes opening temporary portals to other dimensions, or allowing for even rarer forms of spiritual interaction. These celestial influences suggest that the tower is not an isolated spiritual node, but is deeply interconnected with the cosmic rhythms of the universe, acting as a receiver and transmitter of energy from beyond the terrestrial sphere. The ghost-type Pokémon within the tower appear to be particularly attuned to these celestial cycles, often exhibiting different behaviors or communicating different types of information, depending on the prevailing cosmic conditions. Their activity during these periods often becomes more focused and powerful, indicating that they draw strength and guidance from the celestial alignments, using them to enhance their own spiritual capabilities and to facilitate their interactions with the living. This profound connection to the cosmos underscores the tower's role as a bridge between the mundane and the infinite, a place where the boundaries of reality become permeable and the greater universe reveals its subtle influences. The ecological impact of the tower extends beyond its immediate vicinity, subtly influencing the flora and fauna of the surrounding landscape in ways that are not immediately apparent but become evident upon closer observation. Plants growing in the tower's shadow often exhibit unusual vitality, with vibrant colors and accelerated growth rates, or conversely, an unnerving pallor and a tendency towards rapid decay, depending on the specific energetic currents they are exposed to. Certain types of berries found near the tower possess unique properties, some enhancing psychic abilities or promoting vivid dreams, while others are said to ward off malevolent spirits or to facilitate communication with the deceased. Animals, particularly those with a strong connection to the spiritual world, such as Murkrow or Noctowl, are often drawn to the tower, exhibiting behaviors that suggest an awareness of its spiritual significance. They may congregate on its highest spires, observing the landscape with an unnatural stillness, or flit through its halls with an unnerving purposefulness, acting as silent witnesses to the spiritual drama unfolding within. Their presence often coincides with heightened spiritual activity, suggesting they may act as both harbingers and amplifiers of the tower's ethereal energies. The very air around the tower seems to carry a different quality, often described as feeling heavier or lighter, imbued with a subtle charge that affects the senses in profound ways. This ecological interplay demonstrates that the tower is not merely a structure, but a living, breathing entity whose influence radiates outwards, shaping its environment in accordance with its unique spiritual properties. The philosophical implications of the tower's existence are profound, challenging conventional understandings of life, death, consciousness, and the very fabric of reality. Its persistent manifestations of spiritual energy and its undeniable connections to the afterlife force a re-evaluation of materialistic worldviews, suggesting that consciousness may indeed transcend physical demise, and that the boundaries between different states of being are far more porous than commonly believed. The tower serves as a potent reminder that the universe is far stranger and more complex than human perception typically allows, offering tantalizing glimpses into the mysteries that lie beyond our immediate comprehension. Its ability to preserve and transmit memories across vast spans of time and to foster communication between the living and the dead speaks to a fundamental interconnectedness of all existence, suggesting that time itself may not be a linear progression, but a vast interwoven tapestry of moments. The experiences within the tower often lead individuals to profound introspective journeys, prompting them to confront their own mortality, their understanding of purpose, and their place within the grand cosmic scheme. It acts as a catalyst for spiritual awakening, dissolving the illusion of separation and revealing the enduring unity of all conscious beings. The continuous interaction between human visitors and the ghost-type Pokémon within its walls fosters a unique form of interspecies empathy and understanding, transcending the typical predator-prey or trainer-Pokémon dynamics, and instead cultivating a relationship based on mutual respect, shared experience, and a collective exploration of metaphysical truths. The tower, therefore, stands not just as a monument to the past, but as a beacon towards a future where the spiritual dimensions of existence are fully acknowledged and integrated into scientific and philosophical inquiry. The unique energetic patterns generated by the tower have also been observed to have a subtle yet discernible influence on the dreaming states of individuals who have spent significant time within its confines, even after they have departed. These dreams are often remarkably vivid, rich in symbolism, and frequently feature interactions with figures that resemble the ghost-type Pokémon or indistinct spectral entities. Such dreams sometimes contain information or insights that were not consciously perceived during waking interactions, suggesting that the tower's energies continue to resonate within the subconscious mind, processing and revealing deeper layers of spiritual communication. Some individuals report experiencing lucid dreaming with unusual frequency after visiting the tower, gaining a greater degree of control and awareness within their dreamscapes, which they attribute to the amplified psychic sensitivity cultivated during their stay. These nocturnal experiences serve as a continuation of the spiritual journey initiated at the tower, allowing for further integration of its profound lessons and fostering a deeper connection to the subtle realms of consciousness. The content of these dreams often reflects the individual's personal spiritual quest, offering guidance, revealing hidden anxieties, or providing comfort and closure regarding unresolved emotional matters. The ghost-type Pokémon appear to be capable of interacting with these dream states, subtly guiding the dreamer towards specific insights or presenting information in a format that bypasses waking rationalization, allowing for a more direct emotional and intuitive understanding. This post-visit influence on dreaming highlights the enduring and pervasive nature of the tower's spiritual power, suggesting that its impact extends far beyond the physical boundaries of its walls, continuing to shape and transform the consciousness of those who encounter it in ways that resonate deep within the psyche. The subtle changes in atmospheric pressure and temperature within the tower, which are often unpredictable and localized, appear to be directly correlated with the intensity and presence of specific ghost-type Pokémon. For instance, a sudden, inexplicable chill in a particular chamber might indicate the manifestation of a particularly sorrowful or powerful Shupit, its emotional state subtly altering the surrounding environment. Conversely, a fleeting warmth or a gentle breeze, even in a sealed room, could signify the comforting presence of a benevolent Gastly or a guiding Misdreavus. These microclimates are not merely side effects, they are integral components of the ghost-type Pokemon's energetic signatures, acting as physical manifestations of their ethereal beings. Researchers have noted that these atmospheric shifts often precede or accompany clearer spiritual communications, suggesting that the Pokemon manipulate these environmental factors to enhance their presence and facilitate their interactions with the living. The precise measurement of these atmospheric anomalies, even with highly sensitive equipment, proves challenging due to their transient nature and their dependence on the fluctuating emotional states of the spiritual inhabitants. However, the consistent correlation between certain types of atmospheric shifts and the perceived presence or communication style of specific ghost-type Pokemon has led to the development of a nuanced understanding of their subtle environmental influence. This suggests a delicate interplay between the ethereal and the physical, where the very air around the tower becomes a canvas upon which the ghost-type Pokemon paint their presence, allowing for a more tangible, albeit subtle, interaction with their world. The complex interplay of sound within the tower is another fascinating aspect of its unique energetic properties, often described as an ethereal symphony that shifts and evolves with the spiritual currents. Beyond the occasional ghostly whisper or the mournful cry of a specific Pokemon, the very acoustics of the tower seem to be imbued with spiritual significance. Resonances from ancient chants, faint echoes of long-forgotten melodies, and the subtle hum of psychic energy often intermingle, creating an ambient soundscape that is both unsettling and profoundly moving. The way sound travels and reverberates within the tower is often anomalous, with certain frequencies being amplified or absorbed in ways that defy conventional acoustic principles. A soft word spoken in one chamber might carry with uncanny clarity to a distant corridor, while a loud noise in an adjacent room might be entirely muted. This suggests that the ghost-type Pokemon, or the tower itself, manipulates sound waves as another medium for communication and energetic expression. It is believed that specific sonic frequencies can act as triggers for temporal echoes, or can even facilitate the manifestation of certain spirits, making the tower an active participant in its own soundscape rather than a passive recipient. Some researchers have experimented with introducing specific musical tones or ancient chants into the tower, observing how these sounds interact with the existing energetic field, sometimes eliciting powerful responses from the resident spirits, or even opening brief, localized portals to other dimensions. The auditory experiences within the tower are therefore not merely incidental, but are deeply entwined with its spiritual essence, forming an integral part of its communicative and energetic tapestry. The concept of spiritual imprinting is central to understanding how the tower accumulates and retains its vast reservoir of psychic energy and historical memory. This phenomenon posits that significant emotional events, particularly those involving intense joy, profound sorrow, or powerful acts of will, leave an indelible energetic residue on the physical environment. Over centuries, as countless individuals have passed through the tower, each leaving their emotional and conscious imprints. These energies have coalesced and intensified, creating a dense psychic atmosphere. The very stones of the tower, exposed to these countless moments of human and Pokemon experience, have become saturated with these spiritual signatures, acting as a vast, organic memory bank. The ghost type Pokemon, with their innate ability to perceive and interact with these residual energies, are drawn to such locations, acting as custodians and interpreters of this imprinted memories. They do not merely inhabit the tower, they are woven into its very energetic fabric, their presence strengthening the imprints and ensuring their preservation. This spiritual imprinting explains why certain areas of the tower are more active than others, correlating with locations where particularly potent events occurred or where deep emotional connections were forged. It also sheds light on the selective nature of the temporal echoes, as only the most powerfully imprinted moments tend to manifest with clarity. This continuous process of imprinting and absorption ensures that the tower remains a dynamic, living archive of spiritual history, constantly evolving as new experiences and emotions are added to its ancient, energetic foundation. The subtle hum that sometimes permeates the air within the tower, a low, almost imperceptible vibration, is thought to be another facet of this energetic process. It is not merely a structural resonance, but rather a manifestation of the collective spiritual energy oscillating at a specific frequency. This hum has been observed to intensify during periods of heightened psychic activity, such as during a full moon or when a large congregation of ghost type Pokemon gathers within the tower's walls. Some sensitive individuals report feeling a tingling sensation or a slight disorientation when exposed to this hum for extended periods, suggesting a direct interaction with their own energetic fields. Researchers have theorized that this hum acts as a kind of energetic anchor, helping to stabilize the temporal echoes and providing a consistent, energetic baseline for the resident spirits. It might also serve as a form of communication between the Pokemon themselves, a silent language understood through subtle shifts in frequency and amplitude. Analyzing the specific frequencies of this hum has proven challenging, as it often fluctuates and can be influenced by external factors like weather patterns or even the emotional state of individuals present. However, preliminary studies suggest a complex interplay of multiple frequencies, each potentially corresponding to different types of spiritual energy or even to specific historical events imprinted within the tower. The idea that a structure can possess its own energetic signature, distinct from the life forms within it, adds another layer of complexity to our understanding of Pokemon ecosystems and the interplay between the living and the spectral. The tower's unique flora and fauna, particularly the various mosses, lichens, and fungi that thrive within its damp, shadowed recesses, are also believed to be influenced by its pervasive spiritual energy. These organisms often exhibit unusual growth patterns, with some species displaying bioluminescence or an accelerated life cycle when compared to their counterparts outside the tower. Botanists have noted that certain rare fungi found only within the tower's deepest chambers appear to absorb and metabolize spectral energy, converting it into a form of sustenance. This suggests a symbiotic relationship where the spiritual energy not only influences but actively supports a unique ecosystem. Ghost type Pokemon have been observed cultivating these fungi, sometimes even guiding their growth with subtle telekinetic nudges, or by concentrating their own spiritual energy around specific patches. This practice hints at a deeper understanding by these Pokemon of the tower's energetic flow and their role in maintaining its ecological balance. The fungi, in turn, may play a role in grounding or distributing that excess spiritual energy, preventing it from becoming too concentrated and potentially destabilizing the tower's structure or distorting its temporal fabric too severely. The very air inside the tower, often described as heavy and still, is likely laden with spores and fine energetic particles from these unique organisms, contributing to the distinct atmosphere and potentially even aiding in the perception of spiritual phenomena for those sensitive enough to notice. The study of these biospiritual interactions is a nascent field, but it promises to reveal even more profound connections between the physical and the ethereal realms within the tower. The concept of spiritual contagion has also been explored in relation to the tower's history. This theory posits that intense emotions or traumatic experiences within the tower can, over time, begin to affect individuals who spend prolonged periods within its confines, even if they are not directly experiencing a spectral manifestation. The emotional imprints, so deeply embedded in the tower's fabric, can subtly influence the moods, thoughts, and even physiological states of those exposed to them. Visitors have reported unexplained feelings of sorrow, anxiety, or profound peace, seemingly without direct cause, which often dissipate upon leaving the tower. This suggests that the tower acts as a kind of emotional filter, subtly rebroadcasting the accumulated feelings of centuries. Those who are particularly empathetic or psychically sensitive are thought to be more susceptible to this spiritual contagion, sometimes experiencing vivid dreams or even brief, fragmented visions that are not full temporal echoes, but rather echoes of emotion. Pokemon, with their heightened senses and often more direct connection to the spiritual world, are also believed to be affected. Trainers have reported their Pokemon becoming unusually agitated, withdrawn, or even exhibiting uncharacteristic behaviors after spending time within the tower, only to return to their normal selves once removed from its influence. This phenomenon underscores the pervasive and transformative power of the tower's spiritual atmosphere, demonstrating that its influence extends beyond mere spectral encounters to a more fundamental alteration of consciousness and experience. The long-term effects of prolonged exposure to such an environment remain largely unknown, but some historical accounts speak of individuals who, after residing in the tower for many years, developed unusual abilities or a profound, almost unsettling connection to the spirit world. The architectural design of the tower itself, particularly its intricate spiral staircase and the carefully placed windows and openings, is thought to be more than mere aesthetic or structural necessity. Some theories suggest that the ancient architects, perhaps with the guidance of early psychics or spirit-type Pokemon, deliberately designed the tower to act as a kind of spiritual amplifier or conductor. The spiral shape, a recurring motif in many ancient cultures, is often associated with spiritual ascent and the channeling of energy. It is believed that the continuous upward helix of the staircase helps to focus and direct the ambient spiritual energy, drawing it upwards towards the tower's apex, where many of the more powerful manifestations and temporal echoes are reported. The strategic placement of windows, rather than simply providing light, may have been intended to align with specific celestial events or ley lines, further enhancing the tower's energetic properties. Even the choice of building materials, primarily a dark, dense stone, may have been deliberate, as certain types of stone are known to have piezoelectric properties or to resonate with specific energetic frequencies. The overall effect is a structure that is not just a building, but a living, breathing instrument designed to interact with and channel spiritual forces. The arrangement of chambers and corridors also seems to follow a deliberate pattern, creating specific energetic pathways and resonance chambers. These architectural choices suggest a deep, ancient understanding of spiritual mechanics and an attempt to harness or even control the subtle energies of the world, making the tower a marvel of both engineering and mystical design. The legends surrounding the tower also speak of a guardian spirit, a powerful ghost-type Pokémon said to reside within its deepest, most inaccessible chambers. This guardian is not merely a resident, but is believed to be intrinsically linked to the tower's very existence, its power waxing and waning with the tower's spiritual health. Some tales describe it as a colossal entity, a spectral beast of immense power, while others portray it as a more ethereal, almost formless presence, a collective consciousness of all the spirits within the tower. Regardless of its exact form, its purpose is consistently described as the protection and maintenance of the tower's sacred balance. It is said to intervening only when the tower's integrity is threatened, either by external forces seeking to exploit its power, or by internal imbalances that could lead to spiritual decay. Encounters with this guardian are extremely rare, typically occurring only to those who have either demonstrated profound respect for the tower's sanctity or those who have inadvertently stumbled upon its hidden domain. These encounters are often described as profoundly transformative, sometimes involving direct telepathic communication or a brief, overwhelming sensation of cosmic awareness. The Guardian is also believed to be responsible for the selective nature of some of the tower's more potent illusions or protective spells, guiding lost souls or repelling those with ill intent. Its presence reinforces the idea that the tower is not merely a collection of spirits, but a cohesive, self-regulating entity, with its own will and its own ancient protector, ensuring its continued existence as a gateway between realms. The phenomenon of Pokémon spontaneously evolving within the tower has also been documented, particularly among those of the ghost type. While evolution is a natural process, the frequency and sometimes the unusual circumstances of these evolutions within the tower suggest a direct influence from its energetic environment. It is theorized that the concentrated spiritual energy and the pervasive presence of residual memories act as a powerful catalyst, accelerating the evolutionary process or even guiding it towards specific, advantageous forms. Some historical accounts speak of Pokémon entering the tower in their basic forms and emerging significantly more powerful, sometimes with abilities not typically associated with their species. This has led to the controversial practice of trainers intentionally bringing their ghost-type Pokémon to the tower in hopes of fostering such accelerated evolution, though results are often unpredictable and sometimes lead to unexpected or even unstable transformations. The tower's unique energetic field might be interacting with the Pokemon's internal spiritual essence, stimulating dormant genetic potentials or even altering their DNA in subtle ways. This suggests a more active role for the environment in shaping Pokemon evolution than previously understood, moving beyond simple natural selection to a direct energetic influence. The sudden surges of power that sometimes accompany these evolutions are often felt throughout the tower, briefly intensifying its hum and causing minor temporal distortions, further linking the individual Pokemon's transformation to the tower's overarching spiritual processes. The echoes of ancient rituals, though rarely fully manifest, are another dimension of the tower's spiritual tapestry. Before the tower's conversion into a resting place, it is believed to have been a site of profound spiritual significance for ancient peoples, perhaps a place of worship, communion with ancestors, or even a center for early forms of psychic training. The energy from these long forgotten practices has left deep imprints on the tower's fabric, occasionally resurfacing as faint, almost subliminal sensations. Visitors sometimes report experiencing fleeting impressions of chanting, the smell of ancient incense, or the distinct feeling of a crowd gathered in solemn observance. These are not full temporal echoes in the traditional sense, but rather a deeper, more primal resonance with the historical spiritual practices that once permeated the site. Researchers have attempted to recreate some of these ancient rituals, using historical texts and archaeological findings to guide their efforts, in hopes of eliciting a stronger response from these latent energies. While direct manifestations are rare, these experiments have sometimes led to significant increases in ambient spiritual energy readings and a heightened sense of presence within the tower. This suggests that the tower actively remembers and responds to these ancient practices, maintaining a deep, unconscious connection to its spiritual origins. The very stones of the tower seem to resonate with the echoes of these forgotten faiths, a testament to the enduring power of human and Pokemon belief. The specific nature of these ancient rituals remains largely a mystery, but their lingering energetic footprint continues to shape the tower's spiritual identity. The concept of a spiritual contagion has also been explored in relation to the tower's history. This theory posits that intense emotions or traumatic experiences within the tower can, over time, begin to affect individuals who spend prolonged periods within its confines, even if they are not directly experiencing a spectral manifestation. The emotional imprints, so deeply embedded in the tower's fabric, can subtly influence the moods, thoughts, and even physiological states of those exposed to them. Visitors have reported unexplained feelings of sorrow, anxiety, or profound peace, seemingly without direct cause, which often dissipate upon leaving the tower. This suggests that the tower acts as a kind of emotional filter, subtly rebroadcasting the accumulated feelings of centuries. Those who are particularly empathetic or psychically sensitive are thought to be more susceptible to this spiritual contagion, sometimes experiencing vivid dreams or even brief, fragmented visions that are not full temporal echoes, but rather echoes of emotion, Pokemon, with their heightened senses and often more direct connection to the spiritual world, are also believed to be affected. Trainers have reported their Pokémon becoming unusually agitated, withdrawn, or even exhibiting uncharacteristic behaviors after spending time within the tower, only to return to their normal selves once removed from its influence. This phenomenon underscores the pervasive and transformative power of the tower's spiritual atmosphere, demonstrating that its influence extends beyond mere spectral encounters to a more fundamental alteration of consciousness and experience. The long-term effects of prolonged exposure to such an environment remain largely unknown, but some historical accounts speak of individuals who, after residing in the tower for many years, developed unusual abilities or a profound, almost unsettling connection to the spirit world. The delicate balance between the living and the spectral within the tower is a constant source of fascination and study. While the tower is primarily a domain of ghost-type Pokémon, it is not entirely devoid of living creatures. Small, hardy species of insects, rodents, and even some unique bird species have adapted to life within its shadowed walls, coexisting in a fragile, often unseen relationship with the resident spirits. These living creatures are thought to play a role in the tower's ecosystem, perhaps even acting as conduits for spiritual energy or as observers for the spectral inhabitants. Their presence adds a layer of complexity to the tower's energetic field, introducing the vibrance of life into a realm predominantly associated with the departed. Some theories suggest that certain living Pokémon, particularly those with psychic or spiritual affinities, are drawn to the tower not to challenge its inhabitants, but to learn from them, to understand the mysteries of the spirit world. These Pokémon are often observed in deep meditation or in quiet contemplation, seemingly in communion with the unseen forces of the tower. This symbiotic relationship between life and death, the material and the ethereal, defines the tower's unique character, making it a powerful testament to the interconnectedness of all existence. The continuous cycle of life and decay within the tower, with living organisms drawing sustenance from its unique environment and eventually contributing their own spiritual imprints upon their passing, ensures that the tower remains a dynamic and ever-evolving spiritual landscape. The air within the tower, thick with the scent of aged stone and a faint, almost imperceptible tang of something otherworldly, contributes to this unique atmosphere. It's an aroma that clings to clothing and hair, a subtle reminder of time spent within its ancient confines. Visitors often report a feeling of being watched, not in a menacing way, but more as if they are merely passing through a space where many eyes have rested before them, a lingering awareness from countless generations of spirits and living beings. This sensation is often described as a gentle pressure, a slight shift in the air currents that suggests invisible movement, or a sudden, unexplained chill that passes quickly, leaving no trace but a shiver. Beyond the tower, the broader world of Pokémon offers countless other mysteries, each region possessing its own unique set of phenomena and folklore. Consider the legend of the Lost Tower in the Sinnoh region, a place shrouded in mist and ancient sorrow. Unlike the Lavender Town Tower, which has seen periods of renovation and adaptation, the Lost Tower remains largely untouched by modern influence, its crumbling facade and overgrown pathways speaking of a deep, forgotten history. It is said that the cries of distant Pokémon carry on the wind through its skeletal structure, sounds that are not always those of living creatures, but sometimes echo the lamentations of those who have passed on. The Lost Tower is a burial ground for Pokémon, a place where trainers bring their beloved companions to rest, hoping their spirits might find peace among the echoing stones. This solemn purpose imbues the tower with an aura of profound sadness, yet also a quiet dignity. Ghost-type Pokémon are naturally drawn to such places, often acting as guardians of the departed, ensuring their undisturbed slumber. These spectral inhabitants are rarely aggressive, preferring to observe from the shadows, their glowing eyes a silent testament to their eternal vigil. They move with an ethereal grace, their forms sometimes shimmering like heat haze on a summer day, or dissolving into the very mists that enshroud the tower. The flora around the Lost Tower is also unique, adapted to the perpetually damp and shaded environment. Certain types of mosses and fungi thrive here, their bioluminescent qualities sometimes casting an eerie, soft glow in the deepest twilight hours, illuminating forgotten pathways and ancient memorials. These plants are thought to draw sustenance, not just from the earth, but from the spiritual energy emanating from the countless beings interred within the tower's hallowed ground. Some local legends even speak of specific flowers that bloom only during certain celestial alignments, their petals said to hold the captured light of distant stars, offering a fleeting glimpse into other dimensions. The Glimwood Tangle in the Galar region presents yet another facet of the Pokémon world's inherent mystique. This ancient forest is famously known for its bioluminescent flora and fauna, creating a breathtaking and often disorienting display of natural light. The trees themselves, draped in glowing fungi and mosses, seem to pulse with a gentle inner light, illuminating paths that twist and turn unpredictably. It's an environment where the usual rules of perception seem to blur, where shadows dance with light, and where the air hums with an almost electric energy. The Pokémon that inhabit Glimwood Tangle have adapted to this unique ecosystem, many possessing their own bioluminescent properties, adding to the forest's ethereal glow. Morlul and Cyanotic, with their mushroom-like caps that emit a soft, comforting light, are prime examples. Their presence contributes to the overall tranquility of the forest, guiding wanderers with their gentle illumination. These Pokémon move slowly, their movements almost like a silent dance, their forms blending seamlessly with the glowing undergrowth. However, Glimwood Tangle is not without its subtle dangers. The constant interplay of light and shadow, combined with the forest's labyrinthine paths, can lead to disorientation. Travelers sometimes report feeling a sense of being lost, even when following a clear path, as if the forest itself is subtly shifting and rearranging its internal structure. This feeling is not threatening, but rather a gentle reminder of nature's unpredictable power, a soft whisper that encourages a slower, more mindful pace. The unique energy of Glimwood Tangle is believed to have a calming effect on those who spend time within its depths. The soft, ambient light and the gentle rustling of leaves create a natural symphony that can lull the mind into a state of deep relaxation. Some even claim that prolonged exposure to the forest's bioluminescence can enhance one's spiritual awareness, or even gently awaken dormant psychic abilities, though these effects are often subtle and manifest differently in each individual. It's not a place for grand revelations, but for quiet introspection, a space where the boundaries between the self and the natural world soften. Moving to the Hoenn region, the abandoned ship, or sea mobile as it's sometimes known, offers a different kind of atmospheric mystery. This derelict vessel, floating aimlessly on the ocean currents, is a testament to human ambition and eventual decline. Its rusted hull and waterlogged interiors are home to a variety of water and ghost-type Pokémon who have claimed the ship as their own, transforming it into a unique, self-contained ecosystem. The creaking of the metal, the gentle lapping of waves against the hull, and the distant cries of Wingle overhead compose a melancholic soundtrack to this decaying monument. The ship's past is shrouded in whispers and rumors, stories of grand voyages and sudden abandonment. Some speculate it was a research vessel, others a luxury liner, but whatever its original purpose, it now stands as a ghost of its former self. The Pokémon here seem to reflect this history, moving with a quiet dignity through the flooded corridors and algae-covered decks. Frillish and Jellicent, with their ethereal forms, drift through the ship's chambers, their movements creating gentle ripples in the stagnant water. Exploration of the abandoned ship is a journey through time, a glimpse into a forgotten era. The artifacts scattered within its decaying rooms, old logs, broken machinery, personal effects, tell fragmented stories of those who once lived and worked there. These remnants are slowly being reclaimed by the ocean, their edges softened by time and water, their original purpose fading into obscurity. The air inside the ship is damp and still, carrying the scent of salt and decay, a potent reminder of the ocean's relentless power. Despite its decaying state, the abandoned ship is not a place of dread, but rather one of quiet contemplation. It encourages a sense of humility, a recognition of the transient nature of even the grandest human endeavors. The Pokémon here, far from being menacing, seem to exist in a state of peaceful coexistence with their surroundings, their presence adding a subtle vibrancy to the otherwise desolate environment. They are guardians of a forgotten past, living embodiments of the ship's enduring spirit. The Sinjoh ruins, found in an uncharted region between Sinnoh and Johto, represent a profound connection to ancient legends and the very origins of the Pokémon world. These ruins are not merely crumbling structures, but a sacred site, believed to be linked to Arceus, the alpha Pokémon. The architecture is unlike anything found elsewhere, incorporating symbols and motifs that speak of a primordial age, a time when the world was still being shaped. The air here is charged with a palpable sense of ancient power, a silent hum that resonates deep within the earth. The ruins are often enveloped in a mysterious fog, adding to their otherworldly ambiance. This mist is not cold or damp, but rather carries a faint, earthy scent, and sometimes seems to shimmer with an inner light. It is believed that the fog itself is a manifestation of the residual energy from ancient rituals performed at the site, a lingering echo of powerful ceremonies that shaped the very fabric of existence. Few Pokémon inhabit the Sinjoh ruins, and those that do are often rare and spiritually significant. Unown with their mysterious letter-like forms, are sometimes seen floating silently among the ancient stones, their presence adding to the site's enigmatic atmosphere. Their movements are slow and deliberate, almost meditative, as if they are deciphering the ancient energies that permeate the ruins. It is said that the unknown here are particularly attuned to the site's power, their forms sometimes shifting to reflect the ancient symbols carved into the stone. The true significance of the Sinjo ruins lies in their potential to reveal glimpses into the creation myths of the Pokémon world. Legends speak of a ceremonial altar within the ruins where the spirits of Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina could be summoned, allowing for a fleeting interaction with the forces that govern time, space, and antimatter. This is a place where the boundaries between legend and reality blur, where the whispers of ancient deities feel almost within reach. The experience of being in the Sinjo ruins is one of profound reverence. The silence is not empty but filled with the weight of ages, the echoes of Genesis. It encourages a deep sense of humility and wonder, a recognition of the vastness of time and the incredible power that lies at the heart of the Pokémon universe. The light here, even in broad daylight, seems softer, diffused, as if filtered through countless layers of history and spiritual energy. Each of these locations, from the solemn heights of the Lavender Town Tower to the ancient depths of the Sinjo ruins, offers a unique window into the multifaceted world of Pokémon. They are places where the veil between the ordinary and the extraordinary thins, where the whispers of the past mingle with the present, and where the natural world reveals its deepest, most profound mysteries. They are not just settings for adventure, but characters in themselves, each with its own story to tell, its own subtle energy to impart. The calm that permeates these spaces, even in the presence of the unknown, is a testament to the inherent balance of nature, a gentle reminder that even in the most mysterious places, there is a quiet beauty to be found, a serene rhythm that guides all things. The subtle shifts in temperature, the faint scents carried on the breeze, the distant, almost imagined sounds, all these elements combine to create an immersive experience that soothes the mind and invites a deep, peaceful slumber. The world of Pokémon, in its quietest and most enigmatic corners, holds a profound sense of tranquility, a gentle embrace for weary minds. The very air within these ancient sites seems to hum with an unseen energy, a vibration that resonates deep within, a lullaby woven from the threads of time itself. Consider the old chateau, nestled deep within Eterna Forest in the Sinnoh region. It stands as a silent sentinel to a forgotten era, its decaying grandeur a stark contrast to the vibrant forest that surrounds it. The tales whispered about this place speak of restless spirits, lingering echoes of a tragic past. Yet even in its spectral reputation, there's a strange, almost comforting stillness. The dust motes dancing in the shafts of moonlight that pierce the broken windows seem to trace patterns of forgotten waltzes, a final, ethereal dance. The chill that pervades the manor is not a harsh bite, but a gentle, pervasive coolness, as if the very walls breathe out the accumulated sighs of centuries. The Pokémon that inhabit the old chateau, particularly the ethereal Gastly and Haunter, do not feel malevolent in their presence. Instead, they seem to be part of the very fabric of the building, their ghostly forms drifting through the corridors like insubstantial guardians. Their moans, if heard, are not cries of terror, but melodic, almost mournful sighs, a gentle lament for what once was. The occasional flicker of a light or the soft creak of a floorboard are not jump scares, but subtle invitations to listen more closely, to feel the subtle pulses of history. The old chateau is a place where the line between the living and the departed blurs, not in a frightening way, but in a way that suggests a continuous flow of existence, a gentle cycle of being and remembrance. It invites quiet contemplation, a moment to ponder the ephemeral nature of all things, and to find peace in that understanding. The silence here is profound, broken only by the gentle rustling of leaves outside and the almost imperceptible whispers of the wind through broken panes. It's a silence that cradles, a vast emptiness filled with the echoes of a distant past. Then there is the haunting beauty of Spear Pillar, high atop Mount Coronet. This sacred site, steeped in the myths of creation, is a place of immense power and profound tranquility. The air is thin and crisp, carrying the scent of ancient stone and snow. The sheer altitude itself enforces a sense of quietude, a feeling of being closer to the cosmic order of things. Here, where the very fabric of time and space were said to have been woven, the wind carries with it whispers of the universe's beginning. The colossal ruins, remnants of a forgotten civilization's attempt to bridge the mortal and the divine, stand as silent monuments to an awe-inspiring past. The stone itself seems to absorb and radiate a quiet energy, a timeless hum that resonates deep within the earth. The Pokémon found at Spear Pillar, particularly the powerful and ancient Geibel, Gabite, and Garchomp, move with a majestic grace, their forms perfectly adapted to the harsh yet beautiful environment. They are not simply creatures, but living embodiments of the mountain spirit, their roars and calls echoing through the vastness, not as threats, but as declarations of their ancient lineage, a deep, resonant sound that feels more like a lullaby of the earth. The sky above Spear Pillar is often a canvas of breathtaking beauty, with stars appearing impossibly bright in the unpolluted darkness, or clouds drifting by in slow, majestic formations. It is a place that reminds one of the sheer scale of the cosmos, reducing daily worries to insignificant specks, fostering a sense of profound peace and interconnectedness. The sheer silence at such a height, broken only by the wind, is a balm to the soul, an invitation to a deep, uninterrupted meditative state. The cold here is not biting, but refreshing, a clear, clean crispness that invigorates the senses while simultaneously calming the mind. Consider also the ethereal beauty of the hidden grottos scattered throughout the Unova region. These secluded alcoves, often hidden behind special trees or within the folds of the landscape, offer a sense of secret sanctuary. The air within them is often still and cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and unseen flora. The light that filters in is diffused and gentle, creating a soft, dreamlike glow. Finding a hidden grotto feels like stumbling upon a sacred, forgotten place, a small pocket of undisturbed wilderness where nature's rhythms play out in their purest form. The Pokémon that reside within these grottos, often rare or uniquely talented, live in a delicate balance with their environment. Their movements are graceful and unhurried, their calls soft and infrequent, as if they too are mindful of the sanctity of their sanctuary. The gentle dripping of water, the rustling of unseen leaves, the faint hum of insect wings, these are the only sounds that truly break the profound quiet. These grottos are perfect places for quiet contemplation, for simply existing in the moment, appreciating the delicate artistry of the natural world. They are reminders that even in a bustling world, there are still places of profound stillness and peace, hidden away for those who seek them with a gentle heart. The air here feels clean, purified, a gentle balm for tired lungs and minds. And then we journey to the Lake of Outrage in the Galar region, a place of wild, untamed beauty. Despite its name, which suggests a certain ferocity, the lake often exudes a powerful yet calming aura. The expansive body of water reflects the dramatic Galar sky, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow that are mesmerizing to behold. The ancient stone circle located on a small island within the lake adds to its mystique, hinting at a deep and forgotten history. The wind sweeps across the open landscape, carrying with it the scent of fresh water and distant forests, a clean, invigorating aroma. The Pokémon that inhabit the Lake of Outrage, particularly the powerful dragon types, move with an almost regal dignity. Their presence is commanding, yet not aggressive, a testament to their strength and their inherent connection to the wildness of the land. The distant calls of these magnificent creatures echo across the water, a primeval symphony that speaks of enduring power and timeless existence. The sound of waves gently lapping against the shore, the rustling of tall grasses, the occasional cry of a bird of prey circling high above. These are the sounds that lull the senses, drawing one into the deep, natural rhythm of the place. The Lake of Outrage, despite its name, is a place where one can feel utterly at peace, connected to the raw, untamed heart of nature. A place where anxieties simply dissipate into the vastness of the sky and the endless reach of the water. The air here is often cool and invigorating, sharpening the senses while simultaneously calming the mind, a perfect balance for deep relaxation. Let us not forget the serene and somewhat melancholic beauty of the Lake of Acuity in Sinnoh. This remote and often frozen lake is a place of profound quietude. Surrounded by snow-dusted peaks and silent forests, the lake's surface, when calm, acts as a perfect mirror, reflecting the vast ethereal sky above. The very act of standing by its shores encourages a slowing of breath, a deepening of thought. The air is crisp and cold, invigorating the senses, yet the overall atmosphere is one of profound peace. Here, in the hushed embrace of winter's grip, the world seems to pause. The only sounds are the gentle sigh of the wind, the occasional soft crunch of snow underfoot, or the distant, almost imperceptible call of a hardy Pokémon. The Pokémon that live in this icy realm, while resilient, move with a quiet grace, their forms blending seamlessly with the stark, beautiful landscape. Their presence is a testament to life's tenacity, a gentle reminder that even in the harshest environments, beauty and tranquility can thrive. The Lake of Acuity is a place for quiet introspection, a setting that encourages a deep connection with the silent, enduring power of nature. It is a place where time seems to slow, where the hurried pace of daily life melts away, leaving only a profound sense of calm and clarity. The silence is not empty, but full of the quiet hum of existence, a gentle, pervasive sound that lulls the mind into a state of deep repose. The sunken cavern in the Hoenn region, a secret underwater grotto, accessible only to those with the courage to dive deep, offers a different kind of tranquility. The water here is crystal clear, illuminated by shafts of sunlight that pierce the surface, creating an otherworldly glow. The sounds are muffled, softened by the embrace of the ocean, a gentle, pervasive hum of water pressure and distant currents. The vibrant coral formations and the graceful movements of diverse marine Pokémon create a living tapestry of color and motion, yet all within a profound sense of quiet. The Pokémon here, from the gentle Luvdisk to the majestic Wailord, glide through the water with an effortless grace, their movements contributing to the overall sense of calm. There are no sudden movements, no jarring sounds, only the slow, rhythmic dance of life beneath the waves. The feeling of being completely enveloped by the water, of being suspended in a world apart, is incredibly soothing. It fosters a sense of weightlessness, a release from the burdens of the surface world. The sunken cavern is a place where one can truly feel at peace, adrift in a world of silent beauty, where the only demands are to simply observe and to breathe. The gentle currents, the soft interplay of light and shadow, these elements combine to create a deeply meditative experience, a quiet embrace for the weary mind. Each of these places, from the ancient ruins to the hidden grottos, from the windswept peaks to the silent depths, shares a common thread, a profound sense of calm. They are imbued with a quiet energy that speaks of timelessness, of enduring natural forces, and of the gentle rhythm of life itself. They are not merely locations on a map, but sanctuaries for the spirit, places where the hustle and bustle of the world fade away, allowing for a deep, restorative peace. The subtle interplay of light and shadow, the gentle whispers of the wind, the soft lapping of water, the distant melodic calls of Pokémon. These are the elements that weave together to create an auditory and sensory tapestry designed to soothe and comfort. The air in these places often carries unique scents. The earthy aroma of ancient stone, the crisp, clean scent of mountain air, the damp, rich smell of forest floor, or the invigorating tang of salt and fresh water. These olfactory cues, combined with the visual and auditory experiences, create an immersive environment that encourages the mind to slow down, to release its grip on daily concerns, and to drift into a state of profound relaxation. The very stillness of these environments is a powerful lullaby, a silent promise of rest and rejuvenation. They are spaces where the natural world asserts its gentle dominance, reminding us of the inherent beauty and quiet strength that lies at the heart of all existence. To imagine oneself in these tranquil settings, to breathe in their essence, to feel their quiet energy, is to invite a deep and peaceful slumber, a gentle journey into the realm of dreams. The rustling of unseen leaves, the distant murmur of water, the profound silence of ancient places, all contribute to a tapestry of calming sounds, a gentle invitation to let go and simply be. The world of Pokémon, in its quietest corners, offers more than just adventure. It offers solace, a gentle embrace for the weary soul, a place where peace truly resides. Beyond these tranquil havens, the very essence of certain Pokémon themselves can evoke a deep sense of serenity, their forms and behaviors designed by nature to soothe and comfort. Consider for a moment the ethereal beauty of Cresselia, the lunar Pokémon. Its very existence is tied to the moon, a celestial body long associated with tranquility and the dreamscape. Cresselia emits aurora-like particles from its wings, which are said to dispel nightmares and grant pleasant dreams. Imagine, if you will, being in the presence of such a creature, its gentle glow casting soft hues across the landscape, its silent movements a dance of cosmic grace. The mere thought of Cressalia's comforting presence, its ability to weave dreams of peace, can be a powerful balm for a restless mind. Its Pokédex entries consistently speak of its benevolent nature, its role as a protector of sleep, a guardian against the anxieties that plague the waking world. To simply visualize Cresselia floating serenely, its crescent-shaped head and feathery wings shimmering with otherworldly light, can induce a profound sense of calm, a gentle invitation to surrender to the embrace of sleep. Then there is the gentle giant, Snorlax. While often depicted as a gluttonous sleeper, its sheer size and placid demeanor are inherently comforting. Its deep, resonant snores are not jarring, but rather a rhythmic, almost meditative sound, a testament to its utter contentment. A Snorlax curled up in a sun-drenched meadow, completely at peace, is a picture of ultimate relaxation. Its soft, rounded form invites a sense of security, a feeling of being protected and cared for. The very act of watching a Snorlax sleep, its chest rising and falling with slow, steady breaths, can be deeply reassuring. A reminder that true rest is a profound and unburdened state. Its massive frame, seemingly immovable, suggests an enduring stability, a steadfast presence in a world that often feels chaotic. The deep, rumbling rhythm of its sleep is a lullaby in itself, a natural sound that speaks of profound peace. Further still, the gentle drifting of a Drifloon offers a unique kind of quietude. These small, purple, balloon-like Pokémon are often seen floating aimlessly, carried by gentle breezes. Their vacant stare and silent movements are not unsettling, but rather hypnotic. They embody a sense of letting go, of being carried by forces beyond one's control, a passive surrender to the flow of existence. Observing a Drifloon as it bobs and weaves in the air, a silent dance against the backdrop of a setting sun, can be an immensely calming experience. It's a reminder that sometimes the best course of action is to simply float, to allow oneself to be guided, to release the need for control. Their ghostly nature, rather than being frightful, adds to their ethereal charm, a whisper of the unseen, a gentle reminder of the mysteries that lie just beyond our perception. The soft, almost imperceptible rustle of its tattered streamers as it drifts past is a subtle sound that blends seamlessly into the quiet evening. Even the humble Comfey, a fairy-type Pokémon adorned with flowers, radiates an aura of peace. It constantly carries and shares fragrant flowers, its very presence a gentle offering of beauty and soothing aromas. The delicate scent of its floral garland is said to have healing properties, calming both mind and body. Imagine being surrounded by the sweet, natural perfume of Comfey's flowers, a gentle embrace of nature's finest scents. Its small size and graceful movements as it flits from place to place further contribute to its calming presence. Comfey is a living bouquet, a portable oasis of tranquility, its very existence dedicated to spreading joy and comfort. The soft, almost inaudible rustle of its petals as it moves is a delicate whisper, enhancing the serene atmosphere it creates. The soundscapes of the Pokémon world also play a crucial role in creating this atmosphere of calm. The gentle chirping of Hoot Hoot as dusk settles, a rhythmic and consistent sound that marks the transition from day to night, is a classic example of a natural lullaby. It's simple, Repetitive calls are not demanding, but rather a comforting assurance of the natural order, a signal that the day's labors are concluding and the time for rest is approaching. Similarly, the distant cry of a noctowl, a deeper, more resonant hoot, adds to this nocturnal symphony, a sound that stretches across vast distances, a sound of quiet majesty. These auditory cues, deeply ingrained in the Pokemon universe, are designed to soothe and guide one into a state of drowsiness. Consider the gentle lapping of water against the shores of a quiet lake, perhaps where a melodic gracefully glides through the moonlit depths. Melodic, renowned for its beauty and calming presence, is often associated with serenity. Its scales, shimmering with iridescent hues, are said to calm feelings of anger and hostility. The sight of a melodic, its long flowing form undulating through crystal clear water, is a deeply meditative experience. Its silent, fluid movements are a ballet of peace, a visual metaphor for the effortless flow of life itself. The subtle ripple it creates on the water's surface, the barely audible sound of displaced water, all contribute to an atmosphere of profound tranquility. It is a creature of pure elegance, a living embodiment of peace and grace, its very presence a gentle invitation to release tension and embrace stillness. Even the elemental forces, when viewed through the lens of Pokemon, can be incredibly calming. The gentle patter of rain, a ubiquitous sound in many regions, is often accompanied by the presence of Ludicolo dancing joyfully. While their dance itself is energetic, the rain that inspires it is a deeply soothing sound, a natural white noise that washes away distractions. The soft drumming of raindrops on leaves, on the ground, on rooftops, creates a rhythmic, consistent backdrop that helps to quiet the internal monologue. It's a sound that suggests cleansing, renewal, and the quiet perseverance of nature. The fresh, earthy scent that often accompanies rain further enhances this calming experience, grounding one in the present moment. The concept of evolution in Pokemon, while often depicted with bright lights and dramatic transformations, also holds a subtle, calming wisdom. It speaks to growth, to change, to the natural progression of life. It's a reminder that everything is in a state of flux, constantly adapting and evolving, and that this change is a natural and often beautiful process. The gentle unfolding of a bud into a flower, the slow metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly, these natural evolutions, when applied to the Pokémon world, speak of patience, of trust in the natural order, and of the quiet beauty of becoming. There is a profound peace in understanding that all things are subject to this gentle flow of change, a quiet acceptance of life's inherent journey. Even the simple act of foraging for berries in a quiet forest, accompanied by the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of unseen creatures, like the gentle chirps of a blossom, can be a deeply calming activity. The focus required for such a task, the tactile sensation of picking ripe fruit, the connection to the earth, all contribute to a sense of mindfulness and presence. The forest itself, with its dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy, its rich, earthy aromas, and its symphony of natural sounds, is a natural sanctuary. The soft rustle of tiny Pidgey taking flight, the gentle buzz of a passing Beedrill, from a safe distance, of course, these are the subtle components of a natural soundscape designed to soothe. The sense of discovery, of finding a hidden patch of berries, adds a gentle, satisfying reward to this peaceful endeavor. The warm glow of a campfire, shared with Pokémon like a comforting Arcanine curled beside you, offers a primal sense of security and peace. The crackling of the wood, the dancing flames, the warmth radiating outwards, these elements combine to create an immersive and deeply relaxing experience. The soft shadows cast by the fire, the way the light plays on the surrounding trees, all contribute to a feeling of intimacy and quiet contemplation. The scent of wood smoke, earthy and slightly sweet, is another olfactory cue that taps into ancient comforts, a reminder of simpler times and the enduring power of fire as a source of warmth and light. The rhythmic crackle and hiss of the burning logs act as a natural metronome, gently guiding the mind towards a state of rest. The deep, quiet understanding shared between a trainer and their Pokémon, a bond built on trust and mutual respect, is also a source of immeasurable calm. The silent companionship of a loyal Growlithe resting at one's feet, the gentle nuzzle of a beloved Eevee, these moments of connection transcend words and touch upon a deeper, more profound sense of belonging and peace. The subtle shift of weight as a Pokémon adjusts its position, the soft exhalation of a sleeping companion, these small, intimate details contribute to an atmosphere of serene contentment. It's a reminder that even in a world of grand adventures, the greatest comforts often lie in the simple, quiet presence of those we care for. This unspoken bond, this shared stillness, is a powerful antidote to loneliness and profound source of inner peace. Ultimately, the world of Pokémon, in its vastness and diversity, offers an endless tapestry of calming experiences, from the expansive, star-dusted night skies where a Clefairy might perform its gentle dance, to the gentle warmth of a sunny meadow where a Mareep drifts idly. The opportunities for profound relaxation are woven into its very fabric. Each detail, whether a grand vista or a tiny, intimate moment, contributes to an overarching sense of quiet wonder and gentle beauty. It is a world designed not just for excitement and challenge, but also for solace, for introspection, and for the deep, restorative peace that allows the mind and body to truly rest. The subtle harmonies of nature, the gentle behaviors of its creatures, and the profound beauty of its landscapes all conspire to create an environment where drifting into a peaceful slumber is not just possible, but inevitable. The very air seems to hum with a gentle lullaby, inviting all who listen to release their worries and surrender to the embrace of dreams. The concept of Pokédex entries, often presented in a concise and seemingly innocent manner, sometimes holds a hidden depth, a touch of the uncanny that, while not overtly frightening, can create a subtle sense of intrigue and quiet contemplation. Consider, for instance, the entry for Kadabra, a Pokémon known for its psychic abilities. The Pokédex often states that a boy with psychic abilities suddenly transformed into Kadabra while assisting with research into a mysterious phenomenon. This isn't a violent transformation, nor is it described with any malice. Yet the idea of a human suddenly and irrevocably changing into a Pokémon, losing their previous identity, carries a certain weight. It's a quiet, almost melancholic thought, a gentle reminder of the unpredictable nature of the world and the thin veil between different forms of life. The implication isn't one of horror, but rather a soft, existential wonder about identity and transformation, a gentle nudge towards the profound mysteries that lie beneath the surface of the Pokémon world. Similarly, the lore surrounding Yamask, a ghost-type Pokémon, presents a poignant and subtly unsettling narrative. Yamask is said to have originated from the spirits of humans, and it carries a mask that was once its face when it was alive. It is even said to gaze at the mask and cry, remembering its past life. This isn't a jump scare or a terrifying monster. Instead, it offers a deep, quiet sadness. The image of a Pokémon holding a relic of its former humanity, weeping silently over a lost past, evokes a profound sense of empathy and a gentle reflection on mortality and memory. It's a subtle form of creepiness, one that settles not in fear, but in a quiet, almost mournful contemplation of what it means to exist, to remember, and to be transformed by death itself. The quiet whisper of its former life, the lingering echo of human consciousness within a spectral form, can be a strangely calming thought, a reminder of the continuity of existence, even in altered states. Then there are Pokémon like Phantump, described as the spirits of children who got lost in the forest and possessed tree stumps. This too avoids overt horror. Instead, it creates a gentle, almost wistful image. The idea of lost children finding a new form, still inhabiting the very woods where they wandered, transforms a potentially tragic event into something ethereal and enduring. It's a quiet story of metamorphosis, of life finding a way to continue, albeit in a different guise. The rustling leaves and the gentle creak of the forest can, in this context, take on a new meaning, a subtle whisper of these quiet, watchful spirits. It speaks to the deep connection between life and the environment, a gentle intertwining of natural processes and spectral existence. Even the seemingly innocuous Gengar has a Pokédex entry that suggests it might, in fact, be the shadow of a human. This isn't presented as a threat in the traditional sense, but rather as a fascinating, almost poetic idea about the nature of shadows and consciousness. The thought that your own shadow might one day detach and gain sentience, becoming a playful yet mischievous entity, isn't frightening, but rather thought-provoking. It adds a layer of quiet mystery to the everyday world, suggesting that even the most mundane elements of our surroundings might harbor hidden depths and unexpected life. The gentle play of light and shadow, so often a source of visual comfort, takes on a new, subtle significance, hinting at the unseen world that coexists with our own. Moving beyond individual Pokémon, the very concept of certain locations within the Pokémon world can carry the same gentle, contemplative eeriness. The old chateau in the Sinnoh region, for example, is famously home to ghostly Pokémon and whispered tales of a butler and a maid. While one might expect a haunted house to be a place of terror, the old chateau, particularly in the games, often evokes a sense of quiet melancholy and historical residue. The faded grandeur, the empty rooms, the gentle rustling that hints at unseen presences, these elements combine to create an atmosphere of respectful, almost dreamlike quietude. It's a place where time seems to slow, where the past lingers like a soft perfume, inviting quiet reflection rather than outright fear. The faint, almost imperceptible movements of Gastly and Honor within its walls become part of the tranquil stillness, not a disruption of it. The Distortion World, a realm closely associated with Giratina, is another example. It is a place of warped physics, inverted gravity, and shifting landscapes, existing in opposition to the regular world. While its initial appearance might be disorienting, its profound weirdness ultimately settles into a strange, almost beautiful order. The lack of conventional logic creates a space for the mind to wander, to contemplate alternative realities and the boundless possibilities of existence. It's not a place of chaotic horror, but a dimension of profound, quiet strangeness that expands the imagination rather than constricting it with fear. The gentle, almost surreal movements within this space can be deeply mesmerizing, a visual lullaby of impossible geometry. Even the simple act of exploring a dark cave, like Mount Moon or Victory Road, can hold a quiet creepiness. The echoing sounds, the limited visibility, the feeling of being deep within the earth, these elements can evoke a primal sense of isolation, but also a profound connection to the ancient geological forces that shaped the world. The gentle drip of water, the soft scuttling of unseen Pokémon, the feeling of cool, damp air on one's skin. These sensory details create an immersive, almost meditative experience. It's an environment that encourages quiet introspection, where the mind can wander freely, unburdened by the distractions of the outside world. The quiet presence of Zubat and Geodude, their simple existence within these dark recesses, becomes part of the cave's serene ecosystem. The idea of certain Pokemon abilities, while powerful, also carries a quiet, almost philosophical weight. Take, for instance, the ability of certain ghost-type Pokemon to pass through walls or to become invisible. This isn't just a combat mechanic. It speaks to a deeper understanding of reality, suggesting that the physical boundaries we perceive are not absolute. This gentle dissolution of boundaries, the quiet transcendence of physical limitations, can be a profoundly calming thought, hinting at a universe far more malleable and interconnected than we might initially imagine. The very fabric of existence in this context becomes a gentle, flowing tapestry rather than a rigid structure. Consider the concept of legendaries and mythicals, beings of immense power and often ancient origins. Their stories, while sometimes grand and epic, frequently touch upon themes of creation, balance, and the fundamental forces of the universe. The quiet majesty of Arceus, said to have created the Pokémon World, or the serene wisdom of Celebi, capable of traversing time, these beings inspire awe not through fear, but through their profound significance and their gentle, often unseen influence on the world. Their existence is a quiet affirmation of the grandeur and mystery that underpins all of existence, a gentle reminder of forces far greater than ourselves. The shimmering presence of a legendary, even in lore, can bring a sense of profound peace, a gentle acknowledgement of the sacred. The very scale of the Pokémon world, with its diverse biomes, ancient ruins, and hidden wonders, encourages a sense of quiet exploration and discovery. The feeling of being a small part of something vast and ancient, of gently uncovering its secrets one step at a time, fosters a deep sense of calm. Each new route, each new town, each newly discovered Pokemon contributes to a tapestry of experience that is both expansive and intimately personal. The gentle rhythm of travel, the quiet anticipation of what lies beyond the next bend, becomes a meditative journey. Even the concept of aging and change within the lore, while rarely explicitly depicted as morbid, carries a subtle, almost melancholic beauty. The idea that certain Pokemon, like Politoed, evolve in specific circumstances, or that Eevee has so many potential paths, speaks to the gentle flow of life and the endless possibilities for transformation. It's a quiet celebration of growth, of becoming, and of the subtle shifts that define existence over time. The gentle unfolding of a Pokemon's life, from egg to fully evolved form, mirrors the natural cycles of the world and can be a deeply comforting thought, a quiet affirmation of continuous renewal. The quiet understanding that many Pokemon share with their trainers, a bond that transcends language and often relies on intuition and shared experience, is a powerful source of comfort. The subtle cues, the gentle nudges, the unspoken agreement that forms the bedrock of these relationships create a deep sense of belonging and mutual respect. This silent dialogue, this gentle attunement to another being's needs and emotions, is a profoundly calming aspect of the Pokémon world. It's a reminder that connection doesn't always require grand gestures, but often thrives in the quiet, everyday moments of shared presence. Finally, the pervasive theme of nature throughout the Pokémon world, from the towering mountains to the deepest oceans, from the dense forests to the sun-drenched plains, provides a constant backdrop of natural serenity. The gentle sounds of rustling leaves, the distant calls of wild Pokémon, the soft murmur of flowing water. These are the ambient sounds of a world in balance, a world that continually renews itself. These natural rhythms are deeply calming, tapping into an ancient, almost instinctual sense of peace. The presence of Pokémon, inherently part of these ecosystems, only deepens this connection, making the natural world feel alive, vibrant, and gently watchful. It is a world where one can truly lose oneself in the quiet beauty of existence, allowing the gentle currents of nature to carry one gently into the embrace of a long, peaceful sleep. The notion of ancient Pokémon, those that have existed for countless millennia, speaks to a continuity that stretches far beyond human comprehension. Consider the fossil Pokémon reanimated from slumber, carrying within them echoes of primordial eras. Their very existence is a testament to the enduring nature of life, a gentle whisper from a past so distant it feels almost mythological. The quiet power they embody, a power honed by eons of natural selection and survival, is not aggressive or overt, but rather a deep, resonant force, a slow pulse that reminds us of the vastness of time. Those creatures, like that elegant Cradily with its graceful tendrils swaying in an unseen current, or the formidable Tyranitar, an ancient force of destruction and creation, represented a deep connection to the Earth's own history. They are living relics, moving monuments to a world that was, a world that subtly informs the one we inhabit now. The quiet contemplation of these prehistoric beings, of their slow movements and ancient instincts, can induce a profound sense of tranquility, a gentle awareness of the slow turning of the cosmic wheel. Then there are the legendary Pokémon, often depicted as guardians of natural phenomena or embodiments of abstract concepts. Their rarity and often solitary existence contribute to an aura of profound calm. Think of the serene Mew floating gracefully through the air, embodying the very essence of innocence and pure potential. Its subtle movements, its almost ethereal presence, can be deeply soothing. Or the gentle giants like Lugia, protector of the seas, whose deep calls resonate through the ocean depths, a sound that speaks of vastness and ancient wisdom. Even the more powerful and dynamic legendaries, like Rayquaza, who keeps watch over the ozone layer, possess a certain majestic stillness, a quiet power that transcends mere aggression. Their existence is often tied to maintaining balance, to a cosmic order that, however subtle, governs the world. The stories surrounding them are not tales of conflict, but often parables of harmony, of the delicate interplay of forces that keep the world turning. To ponder their immense power, not as a threat, but as a stabilizing force, a cornerstone of existence, can evoke a deep sense of security and peace. The knowledge that such beings exist, silently fulfilling their roles, can be a quiet comfort, a gentle assurance that the world, despite its bustling surface, has deep, unshakable foundations. The concept of hidden abilities, those rare and often subtle powers that some Pokémon possess, adds another layer of quiet wonder to the lore. These aren't always flashy or immediately apparent, but rather nuanced traits that influence strategy and interaction in gentle ways. A Pokémon with a hidden ability, like Natural Cure that heals status conditions upon switching out, speaks to an inherent resilience, a quiet self-sufficiency, or Regenerator, which slowly restores HP when the Pokémon returns to its Pokéball, suggesting a gentle, continuous process of healing and renewal. These abilities, often discovered through patient observation or careful breeding, are like subtle gifts, quiet surprises that deepen one's understanding of a Pokémon's true nature. They are not shouted from the rooftops, but rather whispered in the quiet moments of battle preparation or thoughtful interaction. This gentle unveiling of hidden depths, this realization that there is always more to discover, fosters a sense of ongoing engagement that is both stimulating and deeply calming. It's a reminder that even the most familiar can hold new, gentle secrets. Consider also the phenomenon of shiny Pokémon, those rare variants with different colorations. The odds of encountering one are incredibly slim, making their discovery a truly special, gentle moment of serendipity. There's no grand fanfare, no booming announcement, just a subtle visual difference, a gentle shimmer that alerts the observant trainer to their unique nature. The quiet thrill of encountering a shiny, the soft gasp of recognition, is a deeply personal and calming experience. It's a testament to patience, to the quiet joy of unexpected beauty, and to the subtle variations that exist within nature. The gentle hunt for a specific shiny Pokémon, often involving repetitive actions and a quiet focus, can itself be a meditative practice. The soft glow of the screen, the rhythmic clicking of buttons, the gentle anticipation, it all contributes to a calming, almost hypnotic state. And when that unique coloration finally appears, it's a quiet triumph, a gentle reward for persistence, and a keen eye. It's a reminder that beauty can be found in the subtle deviations from the norm, in the gentle quirks that make each individual unique. The vastness of the Pokémon World maps, with their interconnected routes, hidden caves, and expansive oceans, encourages a sense of exploration that is inherently calming. There's no rush, no ultimate destination that demands immediate arrival. Instead, the journey itself is the reward. The gentle sounds of footsteps on different terrains, the soft splash of water as one surfs across a lake, the quiet rustle of leaves as one traverses a forest. These auditory cues contribute to a sense of immersion and peace. Each new area offers new Pokemon to encounter, new trainers to meet, and new secrets to uncover. This gentle unfolding of the world, this gradual expansion of one's understanding, is a deeply satisfying and calming process. The concept of revisiting old areas, perhaps with new abilities or tools, to discover previously inaccessible paths or items, reinforces this sense of a living, breathing world with hidden depths. It's a gentle invitation to explore, to meander, to simply be present in the environment. The quiet satisfaction of filling out the Pokédex, of encountering every species in a given region, is a testament to this gentle exploration, a quiet celebration of discovery. Each entry is a small victory, a gentle confirmation of one's journey through this expansive and welcoming world. Even the process of battling, often perceived as a source of excitement or tension, can possess a calming rhythm. The turn-based nature of most Pokemon battles allows for careful thought and strategic planning. There's no need for frantic reflexes, but rather a gentle consideration of options, a slow unfolding of a plan. The gentle music that often accompanies battles, often soothing and melodic rather than intense, contributes to this calm atmosphere. The gentle animations of attacks, the soft sounds of abilities activating, all contribute to a focused yet peaceful engagement. When one's Pokemon faints, there's no harsh penalty, merely a gentle return to a Pokemon Center for healing. A quiet moment of recuperation before the next gentle challenge. The shared experience of battling, even against computer-controlled opponents, can become a dance of gentle strategy, a quiet conversation between trainer and Pokemon, a subtle display of their combined strengths and weaknesses. The gentle ebb and flow of a battle, the moments of anticipation followed by the quiet resolution, can be deeply meditative. It's a gentle reminder that even in moments of apparent conflict, there can be an underlying current of order and predictability, a calming rhythm to the interactions. The subtle lore surrounding Pokemon diets and their natural habitats is another source of quiet wonder. The fact that certain Pokemon prefer specific berries or thrive in particular climates paints a picture of an interconnected ecosystem where every creature has its niche. The gentle rustling of bushes as a bug Pokemon forages for leaves, the quiet splash of a water Pokemon hunting for sustenance. These details create a vivid and calming image of a world in balance. The concept of Pokemon eating and sleeping, of their everyday lives mirroring our own in gentle ways, imbues them with a tangible reality. It's not just about battling, it's about observing, understanding, and respecting their natural behaviors. The quiet satisfaction of leaving food for a wild Pokemon or watching them interact peacefully with their environment can be profoundly calming. It's a gentle acknowledgement of their agency, their independent existence within this shared world. This gentle observation, this quiet appreciation for the natural world, fosters a sense of gentle connection and empathy. Finally, let us consider the gentle hum of the game itself, the soft background music that accompanies almost every scene. From the tranquil melodies of a sleepy town to the gentle flowing tunes of a forest path, the soundtracks are meticulously crafted to evoke a sense of peace and exploration. These gentle auditory landscapes are not intrusive, but rather blend seamlessly into the experience, becoming an almost subconscious companion to one's journey. The quiet, repetitive nature of many of these musical themes can be deeply hypnotic, lulling the mind into a state of relaxed focus. The subtle changes in instrumentation or tempo as one transitions between areas act as gentle cues, guiding the listener without ever demanding attention. It's music designed to be felt rather than actively listened to, a gentle current that carries one through the vastness of the Pokémon world. The nostalgic quality of certain melodies, for those who have spent countless hours within these digital realms, can evoke a gentle warmth, a quiet comfort akin to returning home. This omnipresent, often understated musical tapestry is a powerful force for calm, a gentle whisper that accompanies every step, every discovery, and every quiet moment of contemplation within the world of Pokémon. It is a sonic embrace designed to settle the mind, to soothe the spirit, and to gently guide one into the quiet depths of a long, peaceful sleep. The vastness of the Pokémon worlds, encompassing regions both familiar and exotic, also contributes to this serene atmosphere. From the verdant fields of Kanto to the icy peaks of Sinnoh, each region possesses its own unique charm, its own particular blend of flora and fauna. The slow, deliberate exploration of these diverse landscapes is a calming activity in itself. Imagine traversing the quiet, sun-dappled paths of Viridian Forest, the gentle rustle of leaves underfoot, the distant chirping of Pidgey, or picturing the serene, almost untouched beauty of the Johto region's national park, where Pokémon roam freely amidst blooming flowers and ancient trees. The architectural styles of the towns and cities, too, offer a quiet sense of place. The traditional wooden houses of Ecruteak City, steeped in history and legend, evoke a sense of timeless tranquility. The quaint, seaside villages, where the rhythm of life seems to slow, where the gentle lapping of waves against the shore is a constant lullaby. Each locale, meticulously designed, invites slow contemplation rather than hurried passage. The sheer scale allows for a feeling of endless discovery, yet without the pressure of constant urgency. One can wander off the beaten path, discover a hidden grove, or simply sit by a quiet pond and observe the gentle dance of nature. Consider the gentle act of fishing, a prominent feature in many of the games. The quiet casting of the rod, the patient waiting, the subtle tug on the line indicating a bite. This repetitive, almost meditative action is a profound source of calm. There's no rush, no immediate demand for action, just the gentle ebb and flow of the water and the anticipation of what aquatic creature might emerge. The surprise of reeling in a rare water-type Pokémon is a gentle thrill, a quiet moment of satisfaction rather than an adrenaline-fueled victory. The sounds associated with fishing, the splash of the lure, the gentle ripple of the water, the quiet hum of the fishing reel, all contribute to this sense of peace. It's a miniature ecosystem, a self-contained moment of tranquil interaction with the natural world, a gentle reminder of the simple pleasures that can be found in patient observation. Even the occasional failure to catch anything isn't met with frustration, but rather a quiet acceptance, a gentle encouragement to try again. Then there are the Pokémon themselves, each with their own gentle quirks and characteristics. The quiet loyalty of a Growlithe, always by its trainer's side, offering a comforting presence. The playful antics of a Psyduck, whose constant headache is more endearing than annoying. A gentle reminder of life's minor absurdities. the dignified presence of a majestic arcanine, its calm demeanor inspiring a sense of quiet respect. Even the supposedly fierce Pokémon often possess a gentle side, a hidden tenderness that belies their powerful appearance. The way a Dragonite might gently nuzzle its trainer, or how a Tyranitar, despite its imposing size, might exhibit a quiet protectiveness towards its young. These subtle displays of affection and personality humanize them, making them more than just battle companions, but rather cherished friends and companions on a shared journey. Their diverse forms and behaviors, from the tiny, unassuming Caterpie to the colossal Wailord, all contribute to this rich tapestry of gentle life. Each creature, no matter how small or how grand, plays a part in maintaining the delicate balance of the world, a quiet testament to the interconnectedness of all things. The concept of evolution, too, holds a gentle fascination. The gradual transformation of a small, seemingly insignificant Pokemon into a more powerful and often more beautiful form is a metaphor for growth and change, a quiet journey of self-discovery. It's a process that happens naturally, without force or coercion, guided by experience and connection. The soft glow that emanates from a Pokemon during evolution, the graceful animation as its form shifts and expands, is a moment of quiet wonder. It's a visual representation of progress, a gentle affirmation that time and effort lead to something greater. There's no harshness in this transformation, no violent struggle, but rather a serene unfolding, a natural progression of its being. And upon evolving, the newly transformed Pokemon often retains some essence of its previous self, a gentle continuity that ties its past to its present. This cycle of growth and renewal is a comforting thought, a gentle reminder of the constant, quiet evolution that occurs in all aspects of life. Consider the act of raising Pokemon from eggs. The quiet anticipation as the egg gently rocks and shimmers, a silent promise of new life. The moment of hatching, a gentle burst of light revealing a tiny, vulnerable creature. The subsequent nurturing, the gentle care and attention given to this new life, fosters a profound sense of connection. It's a process that demands patience and tenderness, mirroring the quiet joys of parenthood. The tiny cries of the newly hatched Pokemon, its innocent gaze, evokes a deep sense of protective affection. This gentle act of creation and nurturing reinforces the idea of responsibility and kindness, a quiet lesson in empathy and compassion. The growth of this baby Pokemon, from a fragile hatchling to a strong companion, is a testament to the power of gentle care and consistent effort. The lore surrounding legendary and mythical Pokemon also possesses a gentle, almost dreamlike quality. These creatures are often depicted as ancient, wise beings, integral to the balance of the world, but rarely aggressive or malevolent. Their stories are often tales of creation, of quiet guardianship, of profound influence on the natural order. Arceus, the original one, is depicted not as a tyrannical god, but as a silent architect, weaving the fabric of existence with gentle precision. Celebi, the voice of the forest, travels through time, subtly influencing events, ensuring the gentle flow of nature. Jirachi, the wishmaker, grants wishes, not with grand gestures, but with a quiet, almost childlike purity. These legends are not filled with terrifying monsters, but with powerful yet benevolent entities, their existence a gentle reassurance of a greater, unseen order. Their power is often expressed through subtle control over natural phenomena, a gentle touch that shapes mountains and oceans rather than destructive might. The pursuit of these legendary Pokémon is often a journey of discovery and respect, a quiet quest to understand their significance rather than to conquer them. Even the concept of battling, which might seem at odds with a calming theme, often possesses its own rhythm of quiet strategy and respectful engagement. It's not always about brute force, but about understanding types, moves, and abilities. A mental chess match played out with gentle, almost choreographed movements. The trainers themselves are rarely depicted as aggressive or boasting, but often as quiet, determined individuals focused on the bond with their Pokémon. The gentle encouragement whispered to a Pokémon during battle, the quiet satisfaction of a well executed strategy. These moments are more about connection and understanding than about dominance. And after a battle, the quiet healing of Pokemon at a Pokemon Center, the gentle hum of the machines, the reassuring presence of Nurse Joy all contribute to a sense of restoration and care. There's a cyclical nature to it: battle, heal, train, repeat. A gentle ebb and flow, a constant process of improvement and recovery, ensuring that no harshness lingers. The quiet pursuit of completing the Pokédex, meticulously documenting each and every species, is another source of gentle immersion. It's a methodical, almost academic endeavor requiring patience and a keen eye for detail. The satisfaction of seeing a new entry appear, accompanied by a gentle chime, is a quiet reward for persistent exploration. Each entry tells a small story, a gentle glimpse into the life and habits of a Pokémon. Learning about their preferred habitats, their unique abilities, their gentle evolutionary lines adds to the richness of the world without ever overwhelming the senses. It's a quiet act of cataloging, of bringing order to the vast diversity of life, a gentle quest for comprehensive understanding. The act of reading these descriptions, often filled with charming and whimsical details, can be a calming bedtime story in itself, a gentle journey through a world brimming with wonder. Finally, the very aesthetic of the Pokémon world, its vibrant yet often pastel color palettes, its rounded shapes, its approachable character designs, contributes to this overwhelming sense of calm. The world is often bathed in soft, natural light, creating a gentle, inviting atmosphere. The architecture is charming, the landscapes are picturesque, and even the dangerous areas often possess an underlying beauty. There's a consistent visual language that speaks of kindness, wonder, and gentle adventure. It's a world designed to be welcoming, to embrace rather than to challenge aggressively. This visual consistency, this gentle aesthetic, wraps the entire experience in a comforting blanket, allowing the mind to wander and settle without encountering jarring contrasts or unsettling imagery. The overall impression is one of gentle harmony, a world where even the occasional conflict is ultimately resolved with understanding and growth, leading to an overarching sense of peace. This gentle, pervasive sense of serenity is what makes the Pokémon world such a potent lullaby, a soft whisper capable of guiding one into the deepest, most quiet corners of slumber. The intricate details of Pokémon abilities often hold a gentle wisdom, a subtle reflection of the natural world. Consider, for instance, the ability Synchronize. When a Pokémon with Synchronize is afflicted with a status condition like poison, paralysis, or burn, the opposing Pokemon also suffers the same fate. This isn't an aggressive counterattack, but rather a quiet mirroring, a gentle reflection of shared experience. It speaks to a fundamental interconnectedness, a subtle karmic balance within the ecosystem of battle. It's a reminder that actions, even in a competitive setting, can have ripple effects, and sometimes the most effective defense is a gentle echo. Then there's Natural Cure, an ability that allows a Pokemon to recover from any status condition simply by switching out of battle. Imagine the gentle relief, the quiet rejuvenation of stepping back, taking a moment to breathe, and finding oneself restored. It's a testament to the body's inherent healing capabilities, a serene self-correction that doesn't require overt intervention. It's a subtle nod to the power of rest and withdrawal, a quiet understanding that sometimes the best way to mend is to simply step away from the fray for a brief, restorative pause. Soundproof is another ability that evokes a sense of gentle sanctuary. Pokemon with soundproof are completely immune to sound-based moves. This isn't about brute force, but about a quiet, unyielding inner calm. It's the ability to find peace amidst the clamor, to remain undisturbed by external noise. Imagine the quietude of a Pokemon, unperturbed by the loudest roars or the most piercing screeches, existing within its own tranquil bubble. It speaks to a quiet resilience, an inner stillness that can deflect even the most intrusive of disturbances. Delving deeper into these subtle mechanics, we encounter the concept of held items, which further enhances this delicate tapestry of interactions. A leftovers item, for example, quietly restores a small amount of a Pokemon's health at the end of each turn. This isn't a dramatic potion or a sudden burst of healing, but a continuous, gentle replenishment, a steady drip of life force. It's like a quiet, comforting warmth, ensuring a gradual recovery without fanfare or urgency. It symbolizes the sustainment that comes from a gentle, consistent flow of care. The choice scarf, while seemingly designed for offensive momentum, also carries a subtle undertone. It boosts a Pokemon's speed, but restricts it to using only one move. This creates a gentle tension between swiftness and focus. It's about committing to a singular action with serene determination, understanding that sometimes a focused, unwavering approach is more effective than a scattered, multifaceted one. It's a quiet discipline, a gentle narrowing of options that ultimately leads to a clearer path. Even the process of breeding Pokemon, a core mechanic in the games, is steeped in a gentle natural cycle. The image of two Pokemon, often of different species, peacefully coexisting in a daycare, and then, after a period of quiet time, a Pokemon egg appearing, is inherently serene. There's no sudden burst of creation, but a gradual, organic process. The hatching of an egg, often accompanied by a gentle animation and a soft sound, embodies new beginnings, the quiet wonder of life unfurling. It's a gentle continuation, a quiet promise of future generations. The genetic passing down of abilities, natures, and even specific moves speaks to a delicate inheritance, a subtle thread connecting past and future in a continuous and gentle lineage. Consider the friendship mechanic, a hidden value that grows as a Pokemon is cared for, battled with, and even groomed. This isn't about power or strength, but about affection and mutual understanding. A Pokemon with high friendship might gently avoid an opponent's attack or quietly endure a powerful blow, simply out of loyalty and care for its trainer. These moments are not triumphs of force, but whispers of connection, gentle acts of devotion that transcend mere statistics. It's a quiet, unspoken bond that deepens over time, a gentle testament to the power of kindness and companionship. The serene act of fishing in the Pokémon world is a prime example of quiet contemplation. Standing by a tranquil body of water, casting a line, and patiently waiting for a bite. The gentle bob of the lure, the quiet ripple of the water, the anticipation of what might emerge from the depths. It's a meditative process, a moment of gentle stillness in a world often bustling with activity. It encourages patience and observation, a quiet appreciation for the subtle movements of nature. Even the potential misses, where a Pokémon gets away, are not failures, but simply part of the gentle rhythm of the activity, a quiet reminder that not everything can be controlled. The various berries found throughout the Pokémon world also contribute to this gentle ecosystem. Each berry has a specific, often subtle effect, from restoring a small amount of health to curing a specific status condition. They are not powerful elixirs, but gentle remedies, natural balms. The act of growing berries, tending to them, and watching them ripen is another quiet, unassuming practice. It connects the trainer to the earth, to the gentle cycle of growth and harvest. It's a small, sustainable act of nurturing, a quiet way of providing for one's Pokémon through natural means. Even the more elaborate phenomena within the Pokémon world often possess a gentle, understated grandeur. The aurora borealis in the northern regions, a celestial dance of soft, shifting colors across the night sky, is a breathtaking display of natural beauty. It's not a violent storm or a destructive force, but a gentle, ethereal spectacle that inspires awe and quiet wonder. It reminds us of the vastness and the gentle majesty of the cosmos, a soft, celestial lullaby. The concept of legendary Pokémon, while often powerful, also carries a weight of ancient wisdom and serene balance. Many legendary Pokémon are not depicted as aggressive conquerors, but as guardians of natural order, quiet observers of the world's delicate equilibrium. Arceus, the supposed creator of the Pokémon universe, is often portrayed in a serene, almost detached manner, a quiet force that set the world in motion and then gently oversees its continued existence. Its power is not chaotic, but foundational, a quiet bedrock upon which all of life rests. The quiet, often solitary lives of some legendary Pokémon further emphasize this serenity. Regigigas, slumbering for eons, slowly and gently pushing and pulling continents, a quiet sculptor of the world's geography. Its immense power is applied with such a degree of slowness and deliberation that it becomes almost imperceptible, a gentle, geological whisper. Even the ancient ruins and historical sites scattered across the Pokémon regions possess a quiet dignity. They are not crumbling monuments of forgotten wars, but gentle echoes of past civilizations, places where history softly breathes. Exploring these areas, reading the ancient inscriptions, and piecing together the lore is a quiet archaeological endeavor. It's a gentle connection to the past, a tranquil journey through time. The soft light filtering through ancient windows, the gentle rustle of leaves around forgotten altars, all contribute to a sense of tranquil reverence. The music of the Pokémon world itself is a masterclass in gentle ambience. The town themes are often melodic and soothing. The route themes are adventurous, yet never jarring, and even the battle themes, while energetic, maintain a sense of playful rhythm rather than aggressive intensity. The quiet hum of specific locations, the gentle chirping of unseen Pokémon in the background, the subtle shift in musical motifs as one transitions between areas, all contribute to a continuous, understated sonic tapestry that guides the listener into a state of gentle immersion. It's a soundscape designed to calm, to gently support the experience without ever demanding overt attention. The quiet crescendo of a theme when a significant event occurs, or the gentle fade out as the player enters a building, are subtle cues that maintain this gentle flow, ensuring that no sudden sonic jolts disrupt the peaceful atmosphere. Consider the gentle, almost ritualistic nature of evolving a Pokémon, the soft glow that envelops the creature, the gradual transformation, the gentle chime that signals its new form. It's not a violent metamorphosis, but a peaceful progression, a natural unfolding of potential. Each evolution is a quiet moment of growth, a gentle step forward in a Pokemon's journey. It reinforces the idea of continuous development, of inherent change occurring with grace and beauty. Even the concept of shiny Pokemon, rare color variations, is a gentle delight. Discovering one is a moment of quiet surprise, a gentle gasp of wonder. They don't possess enhanced power. Their value lies purely in their aesthetic uniqueness, their gentle difference. It's a reminder to appreciate the subtle variations, the quiet beauty and rarity, without any competitive pressure. It's a gentle treasure hunt, a quiet joy in the unexpected. The quiet ritual of setting up a secret base in some regions allows for a truly personal space, a gentle haven. Customizing the interior with furniture, dolls, and decorations creates a private sanctuary. It's a quiet act of nesting, of creating a small corner of the world that reflects one's own gentle aesthetic. Inviting friends to visit, exchanging greetings, and battling within this personal space adds a layer of quiet social interaction, a gentle communion in a personalized setting. The very act of walking through tall grass, the gentle rustle of the leaves, the quiet anticipation of an encounter is a small, calming sensory experience. The subtle shifts in the environment, the way the light filters through the canopy of trees, the gentle movement of water in a stream, all these details, seemingly minor, combine to create a rich, yet understated sense of place. It's a world designed to be explored at a gentle pace, allowing for quiet observation and contemplation. The consistent presence of Pokemon centers, those gentle beacons of healing and rest, reinforces the overarching theme of care and recovery. Their consistent design, the reassuring presence of Nurse Joy, the gentle whirring of the healing machine, all contribute to a feeling of safety and restoration. It's a quiet promise that no matter how challenging the journey, there's always a place of gentle respite, a sanctuary where all wounds can be mended. The act of stepping inside, hearing the familiar jingle, and watching the Pokemon slowly regain their strength is a profoundly calming ritual. It speaks to a world that prioritizes well-being, where even the most strenuous endeavors are balanced by moments of gentle recuperation. This constant availability of care ensures that stress never truly builds, allowing for a perpetual state of gentle progress and peaceful exploration. The gentle hum of the healing machine is a lullaby for weary travelers, a quiet testament to the enduring kindness that underpins the Pokémon world. It's a world where even the most formidable creatures can be soothed and restored, their health a priority above all else. This philosophy extends even to the concept of battling itself. While competitive, it is rarely presented with true malice or cruelty. Instead, it's a structured exchange, a test of skill and strategy, with the well-being of the Pokémon always paramount. The gentle encouragement from trainers, the respectful bows exchanged before and after a match, all contribute to an atmosphere of sportsmanship, a quiet understanding of shared passion. Even when a Pokémon faints, it is not a permanent defeat, but rather a temporary incapacitation, easily remedied by the gentle care of a Pokémon Center. There's an inherent gentleness in this cycle, a quiet reassurance that even setbacks are fleeting and that recovery is always within reach. This cyclical nature of challenge and recuperation creates a steady, predictable rhythm, a comforting pulse that permeates the entire experience. Consider the gentle art of Pokémon breeding, a meticulous and patient process that speaks to the deeper understanding of life cycles. It's not about forcing change, but about facilitating the natural progression of generations. The gentle rocking motion of a Pokémon egg, a subtle tremor that hints at the life stirring within, is a quiet marvel. The anticipation, the gentle wait, knowing that a new life is slowly forming, is a serene experience. There's a quiet joy in seeing a newly hatched Pokémon, a pristine creature with its own unique potential, gently emerging into the world. The gentle care provided to these nascent Pokémon, from teaching them new moves to nurturing their growth, mirrors the tender attention given to any young life. This process, while rooted in mechanics, is imbued with a quiet reverence for life's continuation. It reinforces the idea that every Pokémon, from the moment of its gentle hatching, is a valuable being, deserving of care and respect. The act of leaving two compatible Pokémon at a daycare, knowing they are in gentle hands, and then later returning to find an egg, is a testament to the cycles of nature, observed and facilitated with quiet gratitude. It's a gentle reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things, a quiet dance of life unfolding. The diverse habitats across different regions also contribute to this sense of quiet wonder. From the gentle lapping of waves on a beach in Alola to the quiet snowfall in the Galar region, each environment offers its own unique sensory experience. The subtle sounds of nature, the chirping of Pokémon in the distance, the gentle rustle of leaves in a forest, all blend into a harmonious symphony of quiet existence. There's a gentle invitation to explore, to observe the natural world in all its subtle variations. The quiet majesty of mountains, the gentle flow of rivers, the serene expanse of oceans. These landscapes are not just backdrops, but living, breathing parts of the Pokémon world, each with its own gentle rhythm and unique inhabitants. The concept of regional variance, where certain Pokémon adapt to their unique environments, further emphasizes this gentle interplay between species and their surroundings. It's a quiet testament to evolution, a subtle demonstration of how life adapts and flourishes in different conditions, creating new and gentle variations of familiar forms. These adaptations are not sudden or jarring, but rather gradual, elegant shifts reflecting the gentle hand of nature. Even the quieter, more philosophical aspects of the Pokémon world contribute to this calming atmosphere. The legends and myths, often steeped in ancient lore, speak of powerful beings that shaped the world, but even these narratives are often told with a sense of quiet reverence rather than terrifying grandeur. The story of Arceus, said to have created the universe, is a tale of immense power, yet it is often presented with a gentle, almost meditative tone, focusing on creation and balance rather than destructive force. The gentle interplay of legendary Pokémon, often guardians of balance or specific elements, suggests a cosmic order that, while vast, is ultimately harmonious. They are not chaotic forces, but rather ancient, gentle presences that maintain the delicate equilibrium of the world. Encountering these legendary Pokémon is a quiet privilege, a rare moment of connection with something truly ancient and profound, rather than a confrontation. It's a gentle brush with the divine, a quiet moment of awe. The quiet pursuit of completing the Pokédex, that comprehensive encyclopedia of all known Pokémon, is a gentle and enduring quest. It's not a race, but a steady accumulation of knowledge, a quiet cataloging of the world's diverse creatures, each entry filled with factual details about a Pokémon's habitat, behavior, and characteristics, is a gentle step towards understanding. The act of encountering a new Pokémon, observing its gentle movements, and then carefully documenting it is a meditative process. It encourages observation, patience, and a quiet appreciation for biodiversity. There's no pressure to catch 'em all quickly. Instead, it's presented as a lifelong endeavor, a gentle journey of discovery that can be pursued at one's own pace. The gentle ding that signifies a new entry in the Pokédex is a quiet reward, a small affirmation of progress. It's a testament to the value of quiet accumulation, of piecing together a larger picture through countless small observations. The gentle bond between a trainer and their Pokémon is perhaps the most central and calming theme of all. It's not a relationship built on dominance or control, but on mutual respect, trust, and affection. The gentle pat on a Pokémon's head after a battle, the quiet shared moments of rest and play, all contribute to this deep connection. The way a Pokémon might nuzzle its trainer or quietly follow their lead speaks volumes about this unspoken understanding. This bond is built over time through countless shared experiences, triumphs, and gentle difficulties. It's a quiet partnership where each supports the other, fostering growth and resilience. The concept of friendship or affection, stats in games, which influence a Pokémon's performance and behavior, subtly reinforces the importance of this gentle connection. A Pokémon that trusts and loves its trainer will often perform better, a quiet testament to the power of positive relationships. It's a gentle reminder that kindness and empathy are powerful forces, capable of unlocking true potential. Even the gentle rhythm of the day-night cycle within the games contributes to a sense of calm. The quiet fading of daylight into twilight, the soft glow of the moon, and the gentle emergence of nocturnal Pokémon all create a natural, comforting flow. Certain events or Pokémon encounters are tied to specific times of day, encouraging players to experience the world across its gentle temporal shifts. There's a quiet beauty in watching the landscape change with the light, the subtle shifts in color and shadow. The gentle chirping of evening Pokémon, or the quiet calls of those active at dawn, provide a soothing soundtrack to these transitions. It reinforces the idea of a living, breathing world operating on its own gentle, unhurried schedule. This natural rhythm provides a consistent and predictable backdrop, a quiet reassurance that time flows onward gently and gracefully. The gentle process of learning and teaching moves to Pokemon is also a nuanced experience. It's not a forceful imposition, but a careful nurturing of skills. A Pokemon learning a new move often involves a gentle animation, a quiet display of focus and understanding. The concept of technical machines, TMs, and hidden machines, HMs, allows for a gentle transfer of knowledge, a quiet sharing of techniques. These items are not used to dominate, but to empower, giving Pokemon new abilities for battling or navigating the world. The gentle practice sessions, the quiet repetition of movements, all contribute to the mastery of new skills. It's a gradual process, reflecting the gentle patience required for any form of learning. There's a quiet satisfaction in seeing a Pokemon master a new technique, a gentle triumph of dedication. The quiet charm of the various towns and cities, each with its own gentle character, adds to the overall tranquility. From the quaint, sleepy villages nestled in valleys to the slightly busier, yet still manageable urban centers, each location offers a sense of rootedness and community. The gentle sounds of everyday life, people strolling, Pokemon coexisting peacefully, the subtle background hum of human activity, create a comforting ambiance. There are quiet moments of interaction with non-player characters who often offer gentle advice, share stories, or provide small tasks that contribute to the sense of a living, breathing world. These interactions are rarely urgent or demanding, but rather gentle invitations to engage with the local culture. The quiet warmth of a small cafe, the gentle rustle of leaves in a town park, the soft glow of streetlights at dusk, these details paint a picture of peaceful living, a gentle tapestry of interconnected lives. Even the gentle act of fishing in the Pokémon World is a testament to quiet patience. Sitting by a body of water, casting a line, and waiting for a gentle tug is a profoundly meditative experience. The quiet ripple of the water, the subtle changes in the environment, the anticipation of what might be caught, all contribute to a sense of peaceful engagement. It's not about immediate gratification, but about the process itself, the gentle art of waiting and observing. The gentle splash of a hooked Pokemon and the subsequent retrieval is a small, quiet triumph. It's a reminder that some of life's greatest pleasures lie in the simple, unhurried moments, in the gentle rhythm of nature. The gentle presence of Professor Oak and other Pokemon professors throughout the series embodies a quiet academic pursuit. Their role is not one of forceful authority, but of gentle guidance, imparting knowledge and encouraging discovery. Their laboratories are places of quiet study, filled with books, equipment, and the gentle hum of scientific inquiry. They represent the intellectual curiosity, the quiet drive to understand the world and its creatures, the gentle encouragement they offer to new trainers, the wisdom they share, and their unwavering dedication to Pokemon research all contribute to a sense of benevolent mentorship. They are the quiet custodians of knowledge, gently nudging others towards their own paths of discovery. Their presence reinforces the idea that learning is a continuous, gentle journey, one that enriches understanding and fosters a deeper appreciation for the world. The gentle act of trading Pokemon with others, even across vast distances, speaks to a quiet sense of global community. It's an exchange of trust, a sharing of beloved companions, and a gentle expansion of one's own collection. The quiet anticipation of receiving a new Pokemon, the gentle act of sending one of your own, fosters a sense of connection with others who share the same passion. It's a gentle reminder that even in a world of individual journeys, there are moments of shared experience and mutual benefit. This quiet act of exchange transcends competitive boundaries, focusing instead on collaboration and the joy of shared interests. Even the music, often a gentle ambient soundtrack, contributes profoundly to the calming atmosphere. The subtle melodies, the quiet harmonies, and the gentle shifts in instrumentation are designed to enhance the sense of place without being intrusive. It's background music that supports relaxation rather than demanding attention. The gentle themes that play in quiet towns, the serene melodies that accompany exploration of natural landscapes, and the soft, reassuring tunes within Pokemon centers all work in concert to create an acoustically gentle world. The music often swells gently, then recedes, mirroring the natural ebb and flow of a peaceful existence. It's a quiet, sonic embrace, inviting listeners to sink deeper into the experience without any jarring or overly stimulating elements. This gentle auditory landscape is a crucial component in maintaining the overall sense of tranquility and ease. The gentle concept of held items also speaks to a subtle form of care. Attaching a small item to a Pokemon, knowing it will provide a gentle boost or protection in battle, is a quiet act of foresight and affection. It's not about overpowering an opponent, but about providing gentle support, ensuring the Pokemon is as comfortable and capable as possible. From a scarf that boosts speed to a berry that restores health, these items represent small, thoughtful gestures, a quiet way of looking after one's companions. It's another layer of gentle preparation, a subtle way to enhance well-being and readiness. The gentle art of fishing, where one sits patiently by a body of water, casting a line and waiting for a gentle tug, is a deeply calming activity. The quiet ripple of the water, the subtle sounds of nature, and the gentle anticipation of what might be caught all contribute to a meditative state. It is not about instant gratification, but about the process itself, the unhurried rhythm of waiting and observing. The gentle splash of a hooked Pokemon and its subsequent retrieval is a small, quiet triumph. It's a reminder that some of life's greatest pleasures lie in these simple, unhurried moments, in the gentle flow of nature. The quiet, almost unspoken agreement between trainers and wild Pokemon, even when battling, is also noteworthy. There's a mutual understanding, a gentle respect for each other's space and power. Wild Pokemon don't often attack with malice. Their encounters are usually presented as a natural part of their territory, a gentle assertion of their presence. Even when they resist capture, it's often portrayed as a spirited defense, a gentle refusal to be easily swayed, rather than an act of aggression. This quiet respect for autonomy, even in the wild, contributes to the overall sense of a benevolent world, where even the untamed elements operate with a degree of gentle order. The gentle evolution of graphics over the years, from pixelated sprites to more detailed 3D models, has always maintained a sense of softness and approachability. The colors are often vibrant, but not harsh. The designs are clean and inviting, and even the most formidable Pokemon retain a certain gentle aesthetic. This visual consistency, evolving gently rather than undergoing radical shifts, provides a continuous sense of familiarity and comfort. It's a quiet testament to a design philosophy that prioritizes gentle immersion and visual harmony. The world always feels welcoming, never jarringly realistic or overly complex, allowing for a gentle engagement with its aesthetic. Consider the gentle, almost ritualistic act of saving one's game, the quiet sound effect, the momentary pause, the gentle confirmation that one's progress is secure. It's a small but significant moment of reassurance. It signifies a quiet completion of a segment of the journey, a gentle bookmark in the ongoing narrative. This act, repeated countless times, reinforces a sense of order and safety, a quiet knowledge that one's efforts are preserved. It's a gentle release from the immediate moment, allowing for a peaceful transition away from the experience, knowing all is well. The gentle and consistent presence of the Pokemon themselves in the background of everyday life, whether in towns, forests, or cities, creates a subtle sense of normalcy and integration. They are not just battle companions, but integral parts of the ecosystem and society. A gentle whooper may be seen waddling by a lake, a quiet Pidgey might perch on a rooftop, or a gentle Magnemite might hover near a power station. These background details, often quiet and unassuming, reinforce the idea of a world where humans and Pokemon coexist harmoniously, a gentle tapestry of interspecies living. It's a quiet affirmation of their ubiquity and their peaceful integration into every facet of existence. The gentle art of photography within the Pokemon world, whether through specific games or features, offers another avenue for quiet appreciation, framing a perfect shot of a Pokemon in its natural habitat, capturing a gentle moment of interaction, or simply documenting a beautiful landscape, encourages observation and an aesthetic eye. It's a quiet form of storytelling, a gentle way to preserve memories and share beauty. There's no competitive pressure, only the gentle satisfaction of capturing a fleeting moment, a quiet celebration of visual wonder. It encourages a slower pace, a more deliberate engagement with the world's gentle beauty. Even the minor challenges, like navigating a cave or solving a simple puzzle, are often framed with a sense of gentle discovery rather than intense struggle. The quiet echoes in a cavern, the subtle clues embedded in the environment, and the gentle progression towards a solution create an atmosphere of thoughtful engagement. These are not obstacles designed to frustrate, but gentle invitations to think, to explore, and to appreciate the subtle complexities of the world. The gentle reward of successfully navigating a tricky path or unlocking a hidden area is a quiet affirmation of one's ingenuity, a small but satisfying moment of accomplishment. It reinforces the idea that even challenges can be approached with a calm, methodical mindset, leading to gentle triumphs. The enduring appeal of the Pokemon universe lies in this pervasive gentleness. It's a world that, despite its potential for competitive battles, always circles back to themes of care, respect, and peaceful coexistence. The quiet moments of connection, the gentle rhythms of nature, and the consistent reassurance of safety and recovery all combine to create an experience that is profoundly calming. It's a world where even the most epic journeys are punctuated by gentle moments of rest, where growth is a steady, unhurried process, and where the overarching feeling is one of quiet wonder and benevolent possibility. This gentle yet expansive universe offers a perfect backdrop for winding down, for allowing the mind to drift into a state of quiet contemplation and eventual peace. The soft rustle of leaves, the distant calls of unseen Pokémon, the gentle hum of the Pokémon Center all become part of a soothing symphony, guiding one deeper into restorative slumber.